first. All right. So we'll start with the moderator. I'm in. Hey, welcome. Welcome to LCTV's open house. We'll be live for the next 2 hours. And I'm going to start off this extravaganza with an interview of one of Longmeadow's leading citizens. Is this working?
Yeah, you got to hold it.
Oh, I've got to hold it. Oh, I see. All right, well, we're going to start off talking to one of Longmeadow's leading citizens, as I said. I would give you her list of professional accomplishments, but we don't only have 2 hours, and it makes me feel inadequate. So instead, I will just introduce Dr. Rebecca Townsend, Professor of Communications at the University of Hartford, and also our town moderator. Welcome, Madam Moderator.
Thank you, Mr. Duquette.
I appreciate you coming down here, and I know you have lots of things that you want to share with the community. What would you like to share with the community?
Well, I'm most excited about an upcoming forum that we're going to be having. Oftentimes, people would like to participate in forums that we hold sometimes before town meeting, but they may have childcare responsibilities or they can't make it to a particular time and location. And what we don't have right now is a good way to help those folks who are having trouble getting to meetings. And so we're going to experiment with an online forum. It will be moderated. It'll be open for 2 weeks. And we get to test this on a topic of our choice. And we've chosen to talk about the middle schools and what do we need to do about the middle schools.
Very good. Is there a scheduled, when is this actually starting?
We're going to officially start in the middle of October. And those dates will be specified more soon. But there will also be an in-person forum, and that date is already set on October 23rd at 7 p.m. in the Business Technology Center of the high school.
Which is where we are, right? I mean, it's right next door, isn't it?
Exactly, yes.
And say that date one more time.
October 23rd, 7 p.m., Longmeadow High School Business Technology Center.
Do you know what day of the week that is?
I believe it's a Wednesday.
All right, that always helps me when I'm on my calendar. I got to know. I think in 5-day stretches. So.
Yeah, we were looking to make sure it didn't conflict with any holidays or other teacher professional development days or anything. October's a busy month.
Very good. Is there, if someone is listening to us and they come up with a question, who should they call to ask about this?
Me.
Yes, and how can they do that?
They can email me at rtownsend@longmeadow.org.
Okay, very good. What else is going on, Madam Moderator, that you should be telling us about?
Well, everyone should be aware that November 5th there will be a town meeting. So it's the regular fall town meeting is November 5th.
Very good.
And we don't know exactly what will be on the warrant then, but I do know that some middle school students are very interested in participating in this, and we may have our middle school guests again as student researchers observing our work.
Yes, I understand it's a popular thing.
You know, Mr. Sullivan and Ms. Barr or LaJoy they were so interested in getting their students involved in civic life, and I'm thrilled that they're going to be doing so again this year.
That sounds good. Very nice. What else have you got? Anything? Because I've got 2 hours. It's not an easy gig, but I think we're going to get through it. And if you want to come back and tell something, I understand that you're going to be spending the weekend downtown Springfield. What's going on down there?
Well, downtown Springfield is where the Massachusetts Democratic State Convention is going to be. Western Mass gets to host it, and there's going to be a lot of campaign events. People will be able to hear Elizabeth Warren, for example, coming to speak in Springfield, and also Shannon Watts of Moms Demand Action will be there.
Very good.
So that'll be an exciting event.
Do you know what day and time Senator Warren is speaking?
She will be speaking on Saturday, the 14th. I don't know the specific time, but the convention starts at 10. I imagine maybe around 11, but don't hold me to that.
If somebody's interested, I think you could go on, you could just Google Democratic State Committee, Massachusetts Democratic State Committee, and you will come to a schedule of events of some kind, and you might be able to catch Senator Warren in Springfield, which will be something that is interesting because she's running for president, and she might even, be a contender. So if you're interested in that, absolutely check out the convention. I have been thrown out of many of those conventions, so I am familiar with them. And they really can be very interesting. So thank you very much, Madam Moderator.
Take care.
Okay, so only 1 hour and 55 minutes left to fill. So we've really got to be quick about moving through guests. Have I got another guest out there who'd like to come talk about something useful and important? I see Steve Carey in the audience. Come on down.
Nice to see
Good to see you, sir.
Love what you got going here. This is fantastic.
Very good. You know a lot about this kind of operation. Why is that?
I do. So I run Focus Springfield Community Television. We're the sister station next door in Springfield, and just wanted to come show the color for the community television flag.
That's very nice. What's going on over at your station?
Well, we're in the process of actually being moved, so we're kind of getting ready. It's a long process. We're just starting it out, but so we're starting to. We're actually really what we're focusing on is like you guys do here, is the local news all the time. So we've got it's election season, so we have a mayoral election, we have school committee, we have city council. So we'll be doing a lot of debates, candidate profiles, and then we'll be doing sports. And like all good community television, we steal ideas from our neighbors. And I heard that you had a show here before called Chairs on Chairs. What I got was that people would talk to the chairs of different nonprofit
Correct,
boards.
yes, yeah.
And we've toyed around with an idea called NPTV, nonprofit television. So the concept there would be similar. But I love the idea. I'm just unabashedly going to steal a good idea. That is
absolutely.
just such a great
Yeah,
idea.
I agree. It's cool. Very
Yep.
cool. Absolutely.
Yep.
Now, are you presently still on the air during the transition?
We are still in the air. We will not go dark. We never went dark when we took over from Comcast. We kept program going. The joy now is, worst come to worst, we can do it from a Springfield library. We can do it from an office. We can do it from a temporary location. We may come over here begging for a favor now and again. So we should be able. We'll be in good shape. Luckily, we won't have to go dark.
Where is the new location?
That's to be determined.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So right now we're on the corner of State and Main
Right,
Street,
yep.
And it was a vacant storefront.
It's a nice location.
It's a great location. Difficult to load in and load out of.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's
but
true.
but we have free parking in the MGM Casino, and so we can get a lot of people down, and they don't have to worry about where they're going to park. And knock wood, we'll find a new location.
Broadcasting from the poker room.
It could happen. It could happen.
Very good. Very good.
Well, we love what you guys are doing here in government. We just wanted to say hello, and you guys are lucky to have LCTV. Enjoy it, support it. Come on, sit in this chair and talk to these people.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Steve. Good to see you, pal.
What do you got now?
What do I got now?
1 hour and 40 minutes?
Yeah, we're cooking with gas is what we're doing right here. Thank you for watching. We are going to be here with you for another hour and 50 minutes, but I would be thrilled if you would leave your couch and come on down. What we're doing is we're giving little tours. We've got some refreshments. And basically the point of this is to tell you exactly what is done here at LCTV. The mission of LCTV is to provide resources to the community, provide resources in terms of educational resources. If you want to understand how television production is done, you can come down to LCTV and get free instruction. You can take specific types of seminars for very low cost. And frankly, there are some other services that they provide as well that we can talk about later. But the bottom line is, this is community television. Community television is here for the community. It amazes me how many people don't realize that, you know, if they really wanted to, they could come down here and have their own show. I just had a conversation with my 16-year-old who claims that she might try to have her own show. The idea here is that people from Longmeadow get to use this as a way to communicate community issues to the community. And there's really very broad parameters. So you shouldn't assume that for some reason what you have in mind isn't going to work on LCTV. Come on down, talk to the folks here at LCTV, and they will probably be able to help you to do what it is you want to do. But right now, what I want to do is promote Little League Baseball. And because I want to promote Little League Baseball, I want to bring in one of the most important officials and members of the Little League Baseball team here in Longmeadow, none other than Matt Sadowski. Come on over, Matt. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you, pal.
Excellent, excellent.
Longmeadow Little League is a fantastic operation I have been involved with since 2004. And I am wearing my baseball tie, and I am sitting next to someone who has done yeoman's work for the organization in the last couple of years. And I would just like to get a sense of what's new in Longmeadow Little League. What do you got, Kit?
Well, Longmeadow Little League, right? We have over 400 families right now that are participating. We've gone up every year in the last 4 years. We're really building some momentum with baseball in the community. And we have a lot of great activities for Little League, for the association, from the Yard Goats baseball game outings to clinics in the wintertime to fall ball. We have over 120 participants in fall ball this year, 9 teams across Longmeadow, which is amazing.
That is amazing.
So we're really growing, building momentum, and we're looking to do some great things next year also.
Yeah. I understand there's some evaluations coming up. Do you recall the dates of those?
September 21st and 22nd, Saturday and Sunday at Stropel Field. For anyone ages between 7 and 12 years old, they'll be trying out for AAA, for majors, and just to get an assessment and evaluation of how they're coming along as far as their skill set and whether depending on what league or what division they go to, it's a good way to get together with your friends and have a good time, but also get a little analysis of your game.
Absolutely. Little League Baseball is, a special thing. He's talking about AAA. Well, there's all the way from, what is it, single A or T-ball? How's that?
T-ball.
T, single, double, triple, majors. There's a place for everyone in Little League, right? This is an inclusive thing. The majors is a tryout team, but the AAA you can play at the same age, and it's also quite competitive. So it's an in-town thing. That means we play teams in town, we stay in town, we play most, if not all, of our games at Stropel, although we play over at Wolf Swamp, although we're going to lose one of those fields in a few years. And Glenbrook, right? Oh, that's right, because I'm thinking of only the younger kids play at Bliss and they play at Glenbrook.
That is Mr. Potato Head Park. Right?
That's right, Mr. Potato Head Park. So I'm excited about Little League. It's moving in the right direction, and it has always been the biggest sort of baseball operation in town. But a lot of people don't think of Longmeadow as a baseball town. But I think that's changing. I think that we have grown tremendously as Little League, and I think more and more people are recognizing that football and lacrosse are great, but baseball is America's national pastime, and by God, we should do a lot more of that. And I think we're going in the right direction. Obviously, when I got to town, I put my son and my older daughter in Little League. Well, that son was the first, he was a senior when the Longmeadow High School won their first Western Mass title, in which he was a player. And I credit his instruction from Little League, from coaches like Matt and others who know what they're talking about, and they donate a ton of time and talent to help our kids learn the game of baseball.
Thank you. And we've done a lot of improvements also, not only just with the kids and the parents, but also at Stropel Field. We have a brand new batting cage. We actually just installed a brand new fence in the outfield. We're going to have hopefully a lot of new sponsors. So if anybody wants to sponsor,
that's right.
contact me.
If you've been to Stropel, you know that there are banners on the wall. Well, there aren't right now because we are replenishing them. If you have already sponsored them, you can re-up your sponsorship for a smaller cost. If you would like to sponsor them, the cost is fairly minimal, and it's a very nice advertisement on the wall of Stropel Field, which unfortunately not enough balls go over it. It's a little far out there for the little guys, but it's a really beautiful little park. I'm looking forward to the day when we can afford lights. I know that's probably not going to happen because we've got a lot of purists in this town, that like old Cubs fans, frankly. But it's a great place to have Little League headquartered. We've got a beautiful facility in terms of a snack shack. This past season, the snack shack was actually managed by the Barquettes of the kitchen fame right here in town, and it was fantastic. We had incredibly good food available to people watching ball games, and I'm hoping that we have that going forward as well. But we don't know, but we hope.
Next year, we have a verbal agreement that we'll continue one more year, more offerings, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the springtime.
Very good, very good. So Little League Baseball, if you're not involved, get involved. And even if you don't have any kids, that's one of the interesting things about Little League. The president of Little League is Steve Schiffman. Steve Schiffman's son has been grown and gone for a long time, and he still volunteers a ton of time to run the Little League outfit here in town, and I can't thank him enough, because really when you've got kids and they're little and they're it's very difficult to do what Matt does, which is to coach, to parent, and to actually administer a league. That's crazy hard to do. And when you have people like Steve Schiffman and Paul Felici, who for years was the treasurer of Little League, they kept on the job even well after their kids had long gone through the system. And when you have that kind of dedication of citizens to a thing as good as Little League, it really makes it special.
Sure. And Chris Pearson also, Megan Pearson, and Mike Dunn-Irvine, and a bunch of others who have put a lot of time and effort, and Dan Conroy with the fence, a lot of time and effort involved. And a lot of the parents are starting to get involved. We're doing more activities, the fun stuff, and then the cleanup stuff, maybe not so fun. Yeah, right. But we're incorporating a lot of new activities next year. Hopefully a wine and wiffle ball outing. That's my next one I'm working on. So that'll be a real good one for just to bring the community together, not just in baseball, but everybody together as a community. So looking forward to that.
That's very cool, very cool. I personally like the parent-kid games at the end of each Little League season, to be honest with you. We play those over at Stropel, and that's our only hope of getting it over that wall, But thanks a lot, Matt. I really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, very good. All right, here we are. It looks to me like we've killed all kinds of time. So we're doing great. I see a gentleman over there who probably wants to come talk about movies, but he's got a mouthful of food, so he won't be doing that presently. I, on the other hand, will quickly drink something from my product placement. Now, does anybody have any requests? I sing and dance. No, I don't sing and dance. That's a lie. So what I'm going to do now is try to find something to talk about. What have we got? I'm told I can break the so-called fourth wall and talk to people behind. So what do we got? I'm going to have Brian come in here. Brian, whose last name I rarely pronounce correctly, so I'll say Brian Kutzler is here to chat with us. Brian is part of the operation that runs this show and runs this station. So let's see what he's got to say. What do you got to say, boy?
How's it going?
I'm well.
Great job.
I'm well, thank you. Thank you. You really have no choice because you're not paying me and you're just hoping I stay.
Yes. We're paying you in food, in coffee.
So now when I arrived and I said, what's the game plan? You said, what? You don't know? And then I panicked and fainted. But could you just tell us, what are we, if folks are going to get off the couch and come down and talk to us, what are they going to see?
All right. So if you come on down, we're here until 8 o'clock. We have free food. We have Jim Moran. We have Steve, who does the movies. If you watch the classic movies on Channel 9 from 5 to midnight every night, the man who programs that channel, all those classic movies, is here. So you could shake his hand and thank him for doing all that volunteer work. Steve has been a volunteer here for probably almost 9 years now or more. I don't even know anymore. But he is here, so you can come down and talk to him. You can talk to me. Our station manager, Tracy Durant's here. You could talk about producing your own show. And we're gonna we have a sign-up sheet for production classes, which will be starting the end of September. Goes for 5 weeks, $50 a person. We'll be teaching you production in the studio, on the field, how to use cameras, how to do the stuff behind the scenes, if you want to be in front of the scenes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What's the schedule for that?
It's going to be Thursday nights, I believe 6 to 8, starting the last Thursday in September, going through October. I wish I knew the dates on top of my head, but 5 weeks. It'll be 5 weeks from that.
So in the very time slot we are now sitting, you will be down here learning all this production stuff. And frankly, if you aren't sure whether you're interested in that, I got news for you. Come on down right now and spend a little time getting a sense of what it is you'll be learning about. And I think you might find that it's pretty damn interesting. Ooh, darn interesting. Darn interesting. I hate it when I get yelled at by the censors. So anything else that you could fill us in on? How about what are some other services that the LCTV provides folks?
All right. We do our meetings every week, our town meetings, our select boards, our school boards. We teach stuff with the kids at the high school. Also, what else? We have an HD channel, which is very hard to find, 809. So if you watch us in channel 12 and you have HD and you did not realize it, we are on 809 HD, which is very big for local public access. And we're streaming on YouTube Live.
Absolutely.
YouTube Live, huge.
Now, I understand we have a huge international following on YouTube Live. Is that true?
Massive. We're really big in Germany, and we can't figure out why.
Us and David Hasselhoff, right?
Right. We're the top two things Germany loves about America. And I think it's David Hasselhoff, and he has an LCTV shirt on. He rips his shirt, and people love it when he does
absolutely.
that.
They certainly do. I was wondering also about the reproduction services, like converting from one medium to another, et cetera. I know you do that stuff, and I've always thought, I want to convert my old tapes. I just don't get off my butt and come down and get that done. What's all that about?
We can do VHS tapes to DVD. We can do mini DV to DVD. Doug, am I missing any there? We could do those. That's about it, right? That's about it. We cannot do film.
Cannot do film. What's film?
Film.
Yeah, film? Film? What is that?
It was thin,
Is this a history lesson? What are we doing here?
and it was a projector. We can't do film. We don't have a film projector and in a quiet room.
Yeah.
So we can't do film, but we can do your VHSs that are not copyrighted, that are not bought from the store, your home videos. You can come in, and our prices are on our webpage, longmeadowtv.org, and we can copy those for
What
you.
if crowds of people jam in and they want copies of all 40 episodes of Put Up Your Dukes? Can they get them?
We have your entire catalog still in our back of put up your dukes.
Very good, very good. I hope that they're gaining in value, and we're holding off the masses on that.
Yes, I mean, it's like Bitcoin, it's skyrocketing in prices. Also, our back catalog for probably the last 6 years of shows, meetings are on our YouTube channel. So shows like yours, of Paul Santinella's,
Right.
or Chairs and Chairs with Stephen Crane, who is gone now.
Yes.
Not gone, but just
Yes,
gone.
yes. Gone but not forgotten.
Yes. They all live on our YouTube channel. So our public access lives online for people who do not have cable. That's why we're streaming on YouTube. There, people don't have cable, but they are like, how can I watch a meeting? Right. Well, now you can. And they all live there, all in one place.
That sounds good to me. Yeah. Anything else that you can say?
I don't know. We need the next person.
We do need another interviewee. Oh, Maria's here. Well, actually, that reminds me. I was thinking that I'm assuming that some of the elected officials in town are watching, and I just want to make it clear to you, if you are an elected official and you are watching, I will probably hold off until about 7:30, and if you haven't come in to be interviewed, I will begin to badmouth you at that point. So it's probably in your interest to just come on down and let's chat so you can avoid that bad PR.
Wheel with all their names, and you'd spin the wheel and it would land on a name, and then you'd be like, all right, well.
Okay, what are we going to say? But I am going to give you, an hour and change to get yourself down here so that we can actually chat about something that is relevant. This is a town where politics is, it's fairly vigorous, and it's important. And by golly, we've got an important figure right here. Come on in here, Maria Angelides. It's good to see you. Selectwoman Maria Angelides is here to fill us in on what's happening with the Select Board.
Oh, it's a busy year.
Yes.
As you know, we're doing the town manager search. And the interviews, I think the last set for the town search committee is on the 17th. Hopefully it's going to be to us. We'll have 4 people by the 28th of September. And hopefully beginning of October, decision.
Oh,
but we have a great interim town manager, Jay Monahan.
I hear.
Yes, he's on a trip to Normandy right now, but when he gets back, he's been fabulous.
Very good.
He really has.
That sounds good.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things
So
happening.
we're going to make a decision in early October?
Early October, we
And
hope to have
how
a decision.
Is this person going to be on the job within what, a month?
It's hard to say. It depends on their current location and what they need to do to be able to transition out of previous
Where are
jobs.
we right now in the process? How many have we gotten it down to?
I don't know. I'm not allowed to know.
Not allowed to
No,
know.
that's the town
That's
manager
right.
search committee,
That's right.
which
The
totally
town man-
hands off.
That's a whole another group of people who should be down here talking. The town manager search committee.
Well, I'm not sure if they're allowed to talk.
Yeah, well,
That's it.
They may be. So the next public meeting that they will have for interviews is on what date? Do you know?
Well, it's September 17th.
Okay.
Actually, Rebecca is on it. I'm
Yes,
gonna
she
put
is.
it.
That's
So
right,
she's
Rebecca,
on the
yes.
town manager search committee.
We're just
Yeah.
bad-mouthing you, Rebecca. Don't worry about it.
But I also want to tell people on September 25th at 7 o'clock, we're having a public forum, and LCTV is covering it at the select board room, the meeting room here in the high school.
Yep.
And we're going to be going over the town warrant. There's
very good.
so many big issues on the town warrant. I said we really need to get this out in front of people so they have time to get the information and then also to ask for more information.
Would you be
Yeah.
willing to just give us a sampling of what these issues, some of these things?
Yeah, we've talked about it on the select board meeting. We have the...
Which are riveting.
Oh,
Which
I'm
are
sure. I
riveting.
know, yes. And thank LCTV for covering those.
Indeed.
Because it's been so important. You've been covering them and also doing it with the live stream.
Yes.
So I think it's now to YouTube, so people
Yes, yeah.
anywhere
Yeah.
in the country or the
Absolutely.
world can
That's a
watch it
fantastic
live.
thing. That's a
It
great
really
development,
is,
yes.
yeah. Because not everyone has access. They're not in town,
Right,
but they're
absolutely.
interested in what's
But
happening.
everybody can get to YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the press can now watch at home. They don't have to sit through our meetings.
Yes, that's useful for them too.
Exactly.
But is there any issues that are going to be on the warrant that
Oh.
we might want to make some hay out of?
Oh, definitely. There's some big ones. I'd say the biggest one, of course, is going to be the cost overruns at the DPW.
Okay.
We finally have the asbestos. The final piece of the asbestos is being mitigated in the next 2 weeks.
Right.
But Jay Monahan's been working really hard to get all the final numbers together, and we did, and Paul Pasturzik. And so we're going to be having the discuss what was done the past year
Right.
for the mitigation, what the final numbers are that will be going on the warrant.
Okay.
We also.
So we're going to ask for a transfer on the war.
Oh yeah, we're going to ask for new funding.
Oh, new funding,
Yeah,
okay.
we're going to have to have additional funding on the DPW,
Okay.
and then we have the land cap that landfill that must be capped.
Oh, right.
Yeah, DEP insisted that we needed to cap that this year. They've been giving us a waiver for years, and now it must be completed. Phase 1, I think we've already talked about at the last meeting. We're going to need additional funding for Phase 1, and we'll be talking about what the whole project will be when we go to Phase 2 in the spring, because we'll need to finish that. And then we're talking legal fees. There's a lot of issues coming up in town, and we're continuing with our charter changes. We had a great charter commission. They made some recommendation, and every meeting we're trying to put a little more of those recommendations for the residents to talk about and think about and make those changes.
What are some of the changes that look like they might make the final cut?
Well, this one that we're bringing up is going to be the building committee, but again, we haven't solidified that. The select board will be talking about at the next meeting. There's also some new bylaws we're putting in. I think Mark Gold is talking about making some changes in the water rates and how we're doing that. And I think we'd like to put together another hazardous bylaw. I mean, as you can see, there's so many important issues that we're going to be talking about. I'm probably missing a couple of them right
that's
here.
okay.
Yeah,
That's a sample.
that's
You're gonna
right.
have to come.
Yes, but no, please do come. But if you can't come, please look on and try to watch it on air.
Absolutely.
Because there are so many important issues, you're not going to get it all done in one town meeting. We really need people to see the information ahead of time.
I get questions sometimes from folks about the fact that we had, at a town meeting, at a special town meeting last year, we changed the charter to create recall elections. What's going on? Do you have an update on that situation?
Yeah, my understanding is that it has to go through it's been pulled out of committee. I think Brian Ash's office let us know it came out of committee, but it hasn't gone
I
through
understand.
the
Yeah,
full process.
yeah.
Maybe, I would expect we might have an answer in January.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and of
Very
course,
good.
that doesn't, that recall provision was only, it didn't include all of us.
Correct.
So if you wanted to
Which
look at
is
select
part of
board,
what
it's a whole
makes it
new
sort
one.
of
Yeah, it's-
unusual and interesting.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
very good. Yes, very good. All right.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. Thanks for helping me out here. I appreciate it. Good job. And thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you for your
Very good. Okay. Well, it's about 7:30, and I'm not seeing the floods of incoming people that I had expected. So, folks, come on now. I know I'm entertaining, but I'm even more entertaining live in person. So, come on down, and we've got lovely sandwiches over there and all kinds of things to see and learn. Have we got any other victims in the audience that will come on camera with me and talk about their situation? Come on down here. The movie man is here. Come on in here, Steve. Steve is the gentleman was referred to earlier, who programs all those classic movies on Channel 9. Is that right, or 9 or 12? 9. It is 9. Okay.
Sometimes they wind up on 12.
Yeah. What's coming up?
I've got 3 months worth that I've done in advance. I have to list somewhere around the corner in my box. But I don't-
When you choose these, let me ask you this: when you choose these, what are you thinking? And what is your criteria for choice on these things? Movies you loved as a kid? What are they? What do you think?
Well, they all have to be in the public domain. That means films
Right.
that were never recopyrighted.
So at least 50 years old.
Not necessarily. There's some that are less than
Oh,
that.
is that right? I didn't know that.
And some that are just movies that were out there and they never copyrighted them in the first place.
Interesting.
Night of the Living Dead is a classic in that category.
Who knew?
Right.
interesting.
It had a different title at the first, but they didn't. They copyrighted it with that title,
Right.
but that wasn't not Night of the Living Dead. There was that other title that they copyrighted, and that makes it public domain.
That's
You have
interesting.
to copyright it. There's a lot of rules
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
go
say
in
people-
with public domain.
People don't probably understand that they think, well, you're putting movies on TV. Well, you got to be a lawyer practically to get these things straight.
Right. You have to I have various books that I keep on going through to make sure they are in the public domain.
What brought you to this lovely volunteer gig? Why are you so interested in the movies?
Well, I grew up watching movies all my life, you might say. I remember when in the 50s going to the community house on Saturdays, and during the wintertime, they would show classic films.
That's great. That's pretty awesome. That's very cool. And what was your favorite movie you saw at the community house?
The serial, The Adventures of Captain Marvel.
Very good. A lot of kids today are big fans of Captain Marvel. Not quite the same Captain Marvel, but nonetheless Captain Marvel.
Right.
Are you a comic book guy?
Not really. Not really.
Are you following the new Marvel stuff?
I follow all new movies.
Oh, very good. What's your favorite contemporary movie? The movie that's still out there in the theaters?
Crawl.
Crawl? I don't even know what that is.
Crawl is, I would say, of all the Paramount films I've seen in my lifetime,
Really?
it was the best one I've ever seen that was made in Siberia.
Oh, that's a huge endorsement. Huge. Of course, they've made what? They've made 3 movies in Siberia total?
No, Serbia. Serbia.
Oh, very good.
But it looks like it was made in Florida.
Really?
It has to do with a flood, and a woman breaks through to rescue her father.
I don't even remember seeing it on a commercial.
All right, and and to get there, she has her car gets flooded over, and her dad is in a house that is, the water is going up and up.
Right.
You don't know if they're going to succeed, live, because there's also alligators in that house.
I'm guessing that it's not a big budget special effects.
There's only about, there's a gas station which a few people come to sort of help them out, and maybe less than 10 people in it. So it's so low.
So it's an art film.
It's an art, you might call it an art film. It's a little horror film that works.
Very interesting. I'm not a big fan of horror. I mean, I'm frightened by things every day. I don't want to go be entertained by that. But it's an art film. It's not a, so you say with Flood and you think, hey, big box office, huge graphics. But in fact, it's really story driven.
Right. And Paramount picked it up and said, hey, this looks good. Let's release it.
Hi, let me know, what do you think? Who are the top 3 movie directors of the 20th century?
20th century. You got me thinking.
I can play the Jeopardy theme in the background if necessary.
Of the ones, without looking at a list, I do have favorites. Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock, very good.
Gotta be one.
Of course. Well, come on.
Right.
If I were talking to one of my kids, we would hear Spielberg for sure.
Spielberg, yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Spielberg is second.
Now, that's an interesting duo, right? They're very different.
Right, they're both very.
great, but for very different reasons.
And to find the third one, there's so many out there.
Sure.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I one time taught a class that was American politics through the movies. And of course, there are lots of politics movies out there, right? Movies about politics, right? Do you have any, when you think about that genre of movies, what directors and actors do you think of?
In what category?
Like Jimmy Stewart, right? Obviously. What's the Jimmy Stewart movie? You know, he's the senator. He's I forget the name of it now. Yes, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith. That was in my class. There's
All right, what other ones did you have?
what Failsafe. Do you remember Failsafe?
Henry Fonda.
Henry Fonda. But the reason I liked that movie is because it was the only movie I ever found where the bad guy was a political science professor. So it was fabulous. And that was Walter Matthau. And he, in the show, he was a Pentagon bad guy, but he was also a Georgetown political science professor, which I thought was fantastic. But so that's a great movie. I showed, you know what movie I showed that I was surprised at because I hadn't seen it before? The Parallax, what is it? The Parallax?
Parallax View?
It's,
Parallax something.
yeah, it's, the actor is, oh, isn't that terrible? I'm forgetting. But it's a real, sort of deep state type of picture that was actually quite disturbing at points. But obviously, I showed Woodward and Bernstein movie there with Dustin Hoffman and the other guy there playing Woodward and Bernstein.
Actually, the one I liked the most recent was made over 20 years ago, and they made a play out of it, and it's called Network.
Oh, I love it. Love Network. Yeah, yeah. What is it? I'm sick and tired. I'm not going to take it anymore. Love that. Yeah, love that.
And
Yeah.
on stage, it works wonderfully.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And the actor who starred in it wound up getting a Tony Award.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And then there was the movie that was kind of like a what was it called? Broadcast news?
broadcast news.
I like that as well.
I
It was slightly.
yeah, if you work in TV, those are TV movies.
Yeah, they're TV movies, right?
Right.
Absolutely, yeah. And there was the movie that was on like Netflix or something about. Oh God, what was that?
Don't have-
Newsroom.
Newsroom. All
Did
right.
you see any of that? It was a
No,
series.
Series, no. I don't have.
It was pretty good.
This one, I don't have one. I have just the basic. Well, I have some. I have some other channels. I pay $125 a month for LCTV and the other channels that are on it.
There you go.
The ones I pick up.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's it. I stop at that, and
Ah.
that's good enough.
Let me ask you a question. You're a movie
So
guy.
I don't don't have Netflix.
You got 125. You got a lot of channels. Are you a TV guy? Do you
Yeah,
actually?
of course, because I worked for Channel 40 for over 40 years.
So what are the TV shows that were epic? For instance, I just the other night I watched a couple old episodes of The West Wing, and I sat there and I thought, my God, you know, even this actor Charlie Sheen, who knows more about the presidency than the real presidency, it's hard to watch those shows and not feel a certain, boy, wouldn't it be great if real life were more like The West Wing?
I work for an ABC affiliate, so a lot of those shows, some of those shows, I didn't see because I was being paid to watch
I see.
the ABC shows.
Well, what ABC shows were your favorites?
I'm trying to think.
I hear you.
There were a lot. but
Listen,
they're-
it's not easy to remember.
right. I'd have to look at my books.
Yeah, when there's that channel on TV which is all the old TV shows and even old movies, and sometimes I'm watching one with my kids, and they like, for instance, I'm watching like Caddyshack, let's say, or
Right.
one of these National Lampoon things,
Right.
and my kids are inevitably watching. They say, "Hey, that's where you got that stupid thing you say all the time." They thought I had made up these great witty lines, and it turns out I stole them from Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and others. What are you gonna
Those
do?
are two great comics, too.
They
we got.
certainly are. Absolutely. My son is down at college, and he's an RA. And I said, well, listen, let's watch Meatballs, and you should try to be an RA like that guy was a camp counselor. And he said to me, Dad, I think I'd get fired. To me, I thought that was leadership. But what are you going to do? What else you got to say for us? Anything?
No, just asking people to watch our films on LCTV.
Absolutely.
And especially on the weekends, we got the Alfred Hitchcock Cinema, and I've got about 10 to 15 new ones I'm going to be putting together in the next couple months.
That sounds
and
great.
airing.
Is it true that if you do come down here before 8 o'clock, that you will get one of these hats? Is that true?
No, this came from England.
Oh,
bought
I see. That was a
couple years
rumor that
ago.
was flying around. I just wanted to clear that up. It would be nice, frankly.
And people like it. So
I love it. I
wear
love it. It's a great hat. Absolutely great hat. Does it have any kind of weapons in it?
Nope,
All right.
no
well,
weapons.
Not perfect. Nothing's perfect. All right. Well, thank you for coming on here.
You're welcome. Glad to do it.
You're doing
and
a hell of a job.
I hope you can bring your show back to life on LCTV.
Yes. Well, we'll see. We'll see. You know, all that trouble we got in with the FCC last time, we'll have to straighten that out.
Oh, I forgot that. part.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, that's why. All right, who's next?
Who's next?
Who's
I
next?
see luminary Kathy Grady in the audience. Why aren't you sitting next to me? I'm pretty sure you're like a trustee or something important. So come on over here. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, I know. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. So let me see. We're doing okay here. We've got an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm happy to say we have actually seen a stream of folks coming in
Are
and
any
enjoying
of
the tour.
Are any of the trustees here tonight?
Other than Kathy, I do not believe any
Kathy's
trustees here.
All right.
But I will make the same claim with trustees as I am elected officials. Please come on down and say hello. And if you do, I won't badmouth you towards the end of the show. We got Jim Moran. Well, where is he? Jim Moran, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to get Jim Moran on this set. Jim Moran is the Longmeadow Buzz creator. A controversial figure in town who stirs up trouble when he can. That didn't work. He's not going to come on now? Come on.
Who else is around?
Oh, my God, I tell you. Well, let's see. Let's see what we've got here. I guess we cleared the room. We cleared the room, Steve.
Anything else you can think of beside movies and TV?
Well, we could give credit to Doug Poss, the gentleman who's standing behind the camera, who's also instrumental here at LCTV, and one thing that the folks who run this operation do is everything, which is to say, despite their serious responsibilities, you will find them doing pretty much every job that can be done from the top to the bottom in this outfit. And of course, that's because we're in community television, and this is a joint effort, and the cooperation is key here. So if you come down, you're not just going to learn. You're going to get an opportunity to volunteer. You're going to get an opportunity to be involved in something that is a lot of fun and useful.
And when I was starting my volunteer work here at LCTV, your show was on the air.
Indeed. Indeed it was. Very enjoyable. I believe we had 40-odd episodes of Put Up Your Dukes, which was originally supposed to be an interview show, and that's what I wanted it to be, but it was really hard to get people to be willing to talk to me, which has always been true in real life too, but I thought maybe that, getting them on TV would be easier. So what happened was, I'd say probably 35 of the 40 episodes were me talking to the camera, which, was fun. I had my kids on. We had a good time. But it was too bad we couldn't get more people. So if I can get some more people to be willing to come on camera, maybe we'll gin that thing back up.
Great idea. We need more shows like that on LCTV.
We do. We've got the upside with our good friend Paul Santinello. So I think, frankly, we should bookend that with the downside with Gerald Duquette. And so he can tell people all that crazy stuff, and then I can set them straight. What do you think? Sound good?
Sounds good. That's the more shows and more different type shows, the better.
No question.
I know. I've tried getting people like we've got 2 religious shows on. I've tried to get the Catholic Church on.
We have 2 religious shows? I'm not familiar. What are they?
One is the First Church.
Oh.
Has their program. I think there's another one, right? Or is that the only one? No, that's the only one.
Oh, we've only got the
First
one.
Church. All right. Well, we need the Catholic Church, and I've also mentioned to them they've got a school in which they could put on the air. Now we do have some schools on the air. How many schools do we have on the air?
What do you mean we've got schools? I'm confused.
Schools, high school, junior high schools in which they interview the students.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know that. Excellent.
I don't know how many do we have? You people would know.
So we're actually doing something with the media folks over at Center School. Yes. Oh, I love that. They do great work over there. All my kids go through Center School, and they do a little production. They make a video. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Good stuff. They're doing good work over there.
And I see it and say, the more shows, the better.
It occurs to me that folks who are involved with Long Meadow High School sports teams, if you're watching, come on down and give us an update. For my own part, my daughter's a junior, and she's on the soccer team, and the soccer team's doing great. The girls' soccer team has a winning record, and their new coach is fantastic. The coach is from a coaching dynasty family. So Coach Gina Pantusco is now the head coach of the girls' soccer team, and she's fantastic, and the team is doing fantastically. And I think that you should be coming out to watch that. I should know their schedule because I try to get to as many games as I can. But if you're on a sports team or if you're a coach of a sports team, if you can't come down and give us an update, well, then by golly, send us a text or something, and I'll update the town on your sport for you.
And we should have more sporting events too, if we can. The hard part I understand is getting the volunteers, because it takes a lot of people to put on a football game, baseball game, what have you.
So,
correct? You'll agree to that,
Have we
right?
got a healthy sports archive in the sense that someone could say, hey, I remember a baseball game against Chicopee Comp and such. You got that game? Is that a possibility?
We did football for a while, so we have some football games.
Football, no baseball.
No baseball.
Well, this is an outrage.
A couple of basketball games, but football is big.
Right, and I suppose it's sort of kind of easier to film football just because you've got the facility right up top there. It's kind of a closed situation, and we know that the coaches need film anyway. Do you actually help them with that, or is it a separate thing?
It's a separate thing.
Oh, it's a separate thing. Very good, very good. Well, let's see. What else have we got? I wonder if everyone is aware that our baseball team actually won Western Mass for the first time in history. Not this past season, but the season before. First time in history. Did you know that?
That we won
Western Mass, the baseball team.
Baseball team.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that was the first one. It took a while And I got a big kick out of it because a lot of the dads of the kids that were playing had played for Longmeadow themselves, and it was actually kind of funny because I wasn't sure who was more thrilled, the kids or the dads, who now had this monkey off their back that they felt had been there for decades.
I remember the coach was Bob D'Agostino.
No, the new coach is not Bob D'Agostino. It's
No,
Athos. Athos is his last name. I forget his first name. Good coach, and the team is still doing quite well, but unfortunately they were knocked out of the playoffs in this past season. But the year before was big. One of my kids was on the team, and they did a great job. Have we got any more victims?
No.
No? It's probably a good idea that the head honcho come out here and tell us what she does around here. Come on,
Come
Tracy,
on
get
here.
over here.
Come on.
Tracy, his title is what? Executive Director?
Executive Director.
And she replaced one of my favorite humans in the world, Dave Bartlett, who retired.
Yes, he
And
retired.
Now you are the new Dave Bartlett, which is
I
a
am now
tough,
Dave
tough
Bartlett.
job.
Yes. Yeah, I've been here 17 years now.
Oh,
though, so
my God.
A long time.
Yes,
yeah.
your kids are being raised on LCTV.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they've been here many times.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
So give us a sense of what your gig is.
So right now, my biggest focus is just letting people know what we do and what resources we have and what's available here. So my goal is to just get as many community members in to make shows and to put programming on. So that's what I'm hoping to do. I want to reach out more to the high school, see if we can do a better collaboration with them, Bay Path, maybe a veterans program. So that's what I'm trying to do, is basically get the word out that, like, we're here and we have lots of equipment that's available to be taken out.
Sure.
And yeah.
Word on the street is Doug and Brian are really hard to work with. Is that true?
Oh, they're great. They have been here a long time too. Doug's at, like, what are you, 15
I
years?
mean, this isn't what they said about you when we were. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Ixnay!
Yeah, Doug's been here 15 years. Brian's been here
Wow.
almost 12. It'll be
That's
12.
amazing.
Yeah.
Now
so.
that's really great. That's institutional memory. That's continuity.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps explain why this place runs pretty smoothly.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. We have fun
Yeah,
together.
we do
so
have
yeah,
fun.
absolutely. So
Yes, I've never had anything but fun around here.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I
it's a good
hopefully
time.
will be inspired to get that darn show cranked up again.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm still just the same guy who nobody wants to talk to. If
Well, we've
maybe I
sucked you
could-
back in
maybe I could
now,
trick
so-
people. I could trick people. No, I'm not going to interview. No, not me. No.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'm not above that.
Absolutely, we'll take it.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do we got? Hour and 10
know.
minutes to
Yes.
entertain and inform.
Uh-huh.
And I understand that you are quite the singer and have agreed to sing us a number.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
but,
was giving bad information.
Have you told people we have an Instagram page yet? So
I
we,
did not
we
know
are on
that. Did
Instagram
not
now,
know
so
that.
you can follow us on Instagram,
We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook.
Facebook, yes, and we have
Have
a
we got a Twitter?
not yet. We don't have Twitter yet.
No Twitter.
No Twitter. If people demand Twitter, we will have Twitter.
Yeah, okay.
But and we have a YouTube channel that we go live from now, so we stream live from
I
YouTube.
am very pleased to hear that we have a YouTube channel, even though I don't really quite understand. I hear my kids saying that, where'd you see? I saw that on YouTube, and I think,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so you just saw a video, but now it's like TV.
Yeah, it is. It
so
is.
do you pay for it?
No, you
So
don't.
it's not like Netflix.
No, you don't
It's
pay for
free
it.
TV.
It's free. Absolutely. And the great thing about YouTube is that if you have dropped your cable package, you can still see LCTV programming on
Excellent.
YouTube.
I'm really pleased to hear that.
Yes,
Although
so-
I don't want my wife to hear that, because in the budget cutting before the college tuition bills, she might have taken away my cable. So
Yeah, we don't
let's
recommend that.
ixnay
We're not
on
recommending
that. Don't tell my wife.
All right.
The dad budget was decimated.
Oh,
for college
no,
bills.
yeah.
So we don't want to give her any more ammunition.
I'm a few years away from that. That it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming. Not to worry. You'll get through it.
Yes.
Who needs to eat 3 times a day? I mean, come on. Ridiculous.
It's overrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Very good. All right, let's see now. What else? Let me just ask you from behind the camera, we have discussed the services that are provided. We have talked about the programming. I am loath to think of anything that we've forgotten that is definitely important to get out there. Can you think of something that you haven't heard that you want people to hear?
I mean, we welcome volunteers to come down and help us
Okay,
with all
well,
the stuff that we
have it.
do.
And if you do volunteer, I promise you won't have to sit and be annoyed by me, because I'm not here that often. So come on down and see if there's some kind of activity that you can do to volunteer. I also wanted to point out that is it not true that if I am a small business person in Longmeadow that I can actually come down here and produce things that would be good for my business?
With anything that's nonprofit, all nonprofit organizations in town can come and utilize our facility
So not if
for
I have
free.
a for-profit business.
Right.
So even for fee-for-service, there's no.
We haven't done a lot of fee-for-service. It is an option that is possible to discuss.
So
Yes.
basically, if I were a small business person who's not in a nonprofit, it's not as if I couldn't utilize these resources.
Right, we'd
It's
have to
just a
come and
matter of
discuss
coming-
it and-
Very good.
Yes.
And I got to be honest. I think you could be competitive in that industry. So to
I'm-
speak, right?
yeah, I'm sure we
And
could,
given
yeah.
that we have access to YouTube, or they can just take away the product that they produce,
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that more small business people aren't taking advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. And
So,
all the equipment here is available to everyone for
Right.
free. And we are looking into purchasing some new stuff. So, I mean, the more people who come in and tell us what they're looking to do,
You bet.
we can
When
get
are we going to
input.
replace the mobile, the studio, the ambulance? That,
Right, we are about to purchase new equipment for
Oh
that.
my God.
So, yeah.
What are we buying?
We don't know yet. We're in the process of looking at it. We're going to get some HD cameras and some very portable equipment that can be checked out and
Are
taken.
we buying
and-
a new ambulance?
No, we got a new van.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It does not have our logo on it yet. It will have it soon.
Oh, I see.
But yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had a new van.
Yeah.
Is it like what? A Econo van, or how big
It
is it?
is a minivan.
Oh, a minivan.
Yes.
So it has windows and everything.
Yeah.
Like a regular minivan.
Yes, it's a regular minivan, which is great because you can take passengers.
Yeah.
And the equipment now is so small, it's you just throw it in the back.
Actually,
so,
that's a really good point.
yeah, we were looking for really portable. That was our goal. So.
I at some point was looking at old pictures with my kids, and when I was in junior high school in Springfield at Kylie Junior High School had a television show every morning called The Morning Report, and I
Yeah.
was one of the geeks who was on The Morning Report, and so I had these pictures, and they were looking at this giant suitcase with a camera on it, and I was videotaping a basketball game or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What the hell is that?" And I pull out my phone. It was this.
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, now you can get it, you
Yeah.
know, you can
Yeah.
do
it's,
video switching on an iPad.
Well, that's
so
the thing.
that's what we're looking for, something
we were
super
sitting
portable.
there, like with the sound guy had to put tape around a thing,
Yeah.
and now it's all on my iPhone.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're hoping to get the kids to be able to come in and take stuff like that out. So that's our goal, is
Absolutely.
to purchase some stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So
Kids are doing this stuff? They're editing films on their phones.
Yeah.
If they came in here, what would be the difference? I mean, what would they put a wire from their phone to something, or would they actually?
Well, the difference is that we can give them better quality. So, I mean, on the phone, like, for instance, the audio quality is often not very good because you're usually hearing the person who's standing
Oh,
holding
right.
the phone,
Right.
not so much the people who you want
Yes,
to hear. So
yes.
we can get microphones that can attach to your cell
Sure.
phone and things like that, and just basically teach the techniques to make it
Oh,
look
that's cool.
more professional. So.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
So for crying out loud, I know there's a lot of teenagers that are interested in this sort of thing. The question is, are they watching this show?
I know we're
So-
trying to get an after-school club going.
Oh, good.
That's our goal, but we need some students to come down and.
That's good.
show
So a
some
high
interest in
school
it.
club.
That's our goal, is an after-school like media club.
Now, is that something that would require a member of the faculty to be an advisor, or can someone
I
at
don't believe.
LCTV do that?
Yeah, I think we can just do that because it's an
Oh.
after-school club. So.
That's good. That's good. That reminds me, there are certainly, I can't imagine why I didn't think to call Mr. Flaherty, famous
yes.
math teacher, stand-up comic extraordinaire, who actually was one of the few people who was willing to come talk to me on my show. But he had a great way of doing it because he would do impressions. So it wouldn't be him. He'd be talking to me as the president or as someone else. And frankly, I wish I had called him because he's a very funny guy.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, Mr. Flaherty,
Come on
get
down.
over here because I'm sure you've got a new comedy set that you're doing, and I'd be happy to come to try it, have you try it out here at LCTV. If you don't know Mr. Flaherty, he is an actual professional stand-up comedian who is pretty darn good at it, and he's also pretty darn good at algebra, teaching algebra and geometry, etc. Two of my kids went through his classes and enjoyed it very much. So get down here. If you know him, call him, tell him to get down here and help me fill some time. So it's about 5 to 7. We've only got a little more than an hour left down here. The crowd is sort of trickling in and out, but there aren't too many people left. So now's the time to come down so you can really get a hands-on experience. Try out the equipment. You know, maybe get into the back room and see if you can put a spot over my face or something. Right? We'll do whatever it takes to get you down here to have some fun. So with that, I wonder what we should do next. Anybody have any ideas? Let me see. I gave you the soccer update because that's the only sport I have a kid in at this point. I wonder, does anybody know how our football team is doing?
I don't.
No?
No, they probably just started though.
Yeah, they did. They did just start. I don't know how they're doing, though. That's a tough one. Let's see. What else is going on around here? Yeah, it's a boring time in town, is it? Which maybe that's good. Actually, when we were talking about the upcoming town meeting, it sounded like we're kind of back into standard town meeting stuff. We've had a bit of a rocky road in the last year with some less than pleasing confrontations and political issues in town. But I think we're back to a sense of normalcy, if I can use that word, and cruising right along. So I hope everybody is. I hope that does not stop folks from being interested in town politics. Several people who are now on the school committee, as well as the select board, were sort of inspired to run by the sort of, to be honest, by the controversies that have happened around town in the last year or so. Those kinds of things tend to happen in local government because, interestingly enough, despite the fact that local government is right there where the rubber meets the road, despite the fact that the activities of local government really impact citizens most directly, the fact is most people aren't really paying much attention to local politics. They know what's going on in Washington, frankly, more than they know sometimes what's going on at town hall. And that's why when something goes a little askew and things are a little confrontational, you get a sort of a passionate surge of activity that at least has the positive residue of causing some folks who hadn't been paying attention to start paying attention, and some folks to realize that maybe they should volunteer, maybe they should run for office. And I'm happy to say we have several first-time elected officials now on our elected boards, and to my knowledge, and I've tried to keep track, they're doing a very, very good job. So I hope at least some of them will be coming to join me before the hour is out. I have a couple of promises from folks. I won't out them in case they don't show, unless they don't show, I guess I should say. But Brian is here still. I noticed that Doug has not moved from behind that camera because I think he's trying to avoid having to actually interact.
He is. We have like a couple people watching on YouTube.
Okay. How do you know?
It has that little counter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it tells us how many people are
Isn't
watching.
that interesting?
And the cool thing is, where's my mic?
Oh, you can take.
It will tell you when people are not watching and when they're watching.
What?
Yes.
Wait a minute. It'll tell you when I turn it off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You scared me. I thought if I look away.
Oh, no. That's for the future.
Oh my God, that's not right.
That's what Google's working on right
really
now.
are,
Yeah. Let me grab my other mic. Hold on.
All right, very good. He's going to grab the other mic. Oh my Lord, I'm slipping down in the chair. I didn't have good posture when we started, and I won't have any better posture when we're done.
Okay, so.
Oh, he's bringing a camera.
I'm bringing a camera over.
All right.
I'm going to be like, this is one of our studio cameras. Like, pull it off. See, this is not going to translate over on. More beefier cameras, but pretty close. I mean, they're HD. They're probably close in quality. Yeah.
I notice increasingly that when I see the local news crews, I don't always see a cameraman. I see a person with the microphone and a camera.
Yes, that's the new trend in news.
Downsizing.
Yes, it costs less.
Oh.
You don't have to have a camera person. A person would come in with a camera, set it up, and they would talk to it, and that would be it.
I'm not happy about that.
That's how it is.
That's a problem.
And in like news situations, these cameras are remote. There's no one behind them. They're all set up and they move and they do everything all by a schedule and it's all programmed. And
You mean when I'm watching the nightly news?
yeah, usually,
Even the local?
Yeah, usually those are not those.
Really?
They're-
Well, that's disappointing, frankly.
Yeah.
But what about sound, boom mics and things? Are those also robots too?
I think they have an audio person.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Because they got to mic people and they make sure
Right.
this works. But for here, when you come here, you'll learn how to use this studio camera. We'll teach you how to the zoom and the focus and, you know, all the tricks of the trade.
Effects?
Like, as you're seeing this, when you zoom into zoom in, Doug. You zoom into his face. Look at how clean and crisp and in focus he looks.
That's not my best side. I look better blurry.
No, okay. We'll make it blurry. But, you know, we'll teach people.
Face for radio, you know.
Face for radio. But we'll teach people how to properly work with that camera, just like you see.
Well, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do.
No, there's a lot of interesting things you can learn. Even with the studio camera and the cameras we take out. Cameras, people don't realize when you get you buy a camera at the store and you take it out and you go outside and everything looks blue. And you go inside, everything looks fantastic.
Right, right.
And you're like, why did everything outside look blue? Well, you have to white balance. And people don't even know what white balance is.
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
No.
And that can happen on your camera you buy at Best
Right,
Buy.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I will register one disappointment. When I was a member of the school committee, I got to joke around with the LCTV guys that were filming the meeting. And now it's a robot.
Yes.
And so, you know, these poor people have to actually focus all their attention on the meeting.
When we do our meetings, we're in the other room.
Right.
Those are robotic cameras we have on.
It's disappointing. Not going to lie to you.
For us, it's not. Because we can be back here, and we take volunteers. People want to volunteer to do camera or audio.
Right? They do it from back here now.
Right back here, and the meeting happens in the other room.
Sure.
And we don't have to disrupt you guys or anybody that's
Is that what you call it, disruption?
Right.
I see.
We'd fall asleep.
Uh-huh.
We would, we're looking at our phones. We're tired. It's 10 o'clock. We want to go home. But now you don't see any of that.
Yeah,
Now we
yeah.
can all hide in this room.
Right.
And entertain ourselves until the meeting.
I thought there was a certain charm to the in-person action, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
We used to set up at the old community room at the police station.
Are we moving in the direction of not even seeing at the town meetings?
No, we'll always be.
We'll always be at the town
We'll
meetings.
always be at the town.
Very good. That's good, yeah.
Now, when is the town meeting this year?
Rebecca mentioned when it was, and actually so did Maria. And because I was paying really close attention, I don't remember.
It's in November.
It is.
Beginning of November. Or something like that. Don't quote me.
Well, somebody who knows, quickly call down and tell me. Because, I was trying to make sure I didn't say something wrong, and I didn't hear that particular. Yeah. But it's coming. It's coming. We'll give you plenty of warning.
Yeah.
Plenty of warning.
And we will be live on channel 12, our 809 HD channel, and YouTube Live.
Maybe we can figure out a way to make them think something's going to happen at that meeting that would be very entertaining. Like, say, a warrant article to rename a prominent street in town after me.
Yes.
That would probably bring out plenty of opposition. And when we got them there, we can make them vote on serious stuff.
I like
That sound like a plan?
Yes.
It's an old trick, of course, draw them out with something that sounds controversial and then nail them with the regular business.
Or, you know what we should start doing? Food trucks at a town meeting.
How did the food truck event that happened last week go?
I think it went well.
I was not in town at the time,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say. But it's a great idea, actually. I think anything you can do to make the town meeting more of a community event is a good thing. Sadly, you have to, say you're going to take people's guns or something. I don't know.
Right, you're right.
And-
You have to be controversial.
Yeah.
But the food truck thing went well. Paul McNeil from Close, we work very close with Close.
What's close?
Oh boy, I knew you were going to ask that. Close is the coalition for Long Meadow to help educate and the community about drugs and
I knew that, actually.
substance abuse, and they're doing very well.
Oh, good.
And we run their programs on our channel, and
Well, they work at the high school. We're the high school kids, and
right across the hall.
they had a booth at the Long Meadow Days last several years with a really interesting interactive display. So yeah, I think that you're right. They're doing good work.
yeah, it's a classroom, and you go in, not a classroom, it's a bedroom, and you
Right,
go in
right.
and you look for
Right, telltale signs of
your
drug use, etc. Yeah,
your kid could be doing drugs.
that's right. That's
Do
right.
we have someone?
Mick.
Nick, come on.
Oh, Nick or Mick? Come on in, Nick. Thanks for coming. Hi, Nick. I'm Gerald.
Nice to meet
Good to meet you. What's your story, Nick?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you a Long Meadow resident?
Yes,
And you came down because you might be interested in volunteering, maybe?
So, yeah.
Oh, very good.
I volunteered for the summer here.
Oh, very good. How'd that go?
So kids were crazy.
Yeah?
And I mean, like, it was a tough time.
What did you do?
Oh, I think cooking classes.
Oh, so you mean down here at the high school, not at LCTV, because everybody loves it here. Nobody says it's a tough time, right, Doug? So you were doing cooking classes.
Yeah.
Teaching cooking classes?
Kind of.
Yeah.
More like
Okay.
helping the teacher.
Oh, you were a teaching aide.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. So you got some hours, and you got some. Yeah, very good, very good. So, are you interested in TV production?
Yeah.
What is your interest in TV production?
I don't really know yet. I like editing a lot.
Oh, really? That's interesting. So that's the technical side.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel with my friend. We have like 100 subscribers, I believe.
Is that right? Well,
Yeah.
go ahead and put your ad out right now. How can people go to your YouTube channel?
Sub to BV21 Best on YouTube.
Say it again.
BV21 Best, all caps.
All right, what are we going to see when we go there?
So, we like live stream, and on the weekends we live stream till like 5 in the morning.
Oh,
Sometimes.
jeez. What are we looking at when we watch you live stream?
Well, we play a variety of games, anything from the popular stuff to the more hidden gems by like indie developers and small game companies. But we just talk, have
Are you talking about video games?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to make that.
I thought maybe it was backgammon or checkers.
So we do play board games. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Sometimes we stream our risk games for like 4 hours long.
Really?
It's us just sitting down, like roasting each other.
Oh, that's very funny.
It's fun.
So, what year are you in the high school?
Senior.
Oh, you're a senior. Oh my God. So you only got one more year at this fine place.
I do.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. It's when kids don't like high school, it's a tragedy.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
It's all credit to the teachers, though.
Well, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up? Because I don't, just so you know.
Well, I'm in the same boat as you. So.
Good for you. It's not a bad boat.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
fair.
Very good. Very good.
A lot of my friends kind of have the same thing. I think it's a generational issue. It seems to be.
That could be. That could
I
be.
know a lot of people who are just kind of like, I'm gonna float around and.
Yeah,
see what
well,
I like.
all right. Keep an open mind.
Oh yeah.
Keep an open mind. Very good. Very good. What kind of activities are you involved in at the high school?
Well, like what classes would you say?
Yeah, anything you'd like to share?
I don't do a lot after school.
No?
I used to do swimming, but now I just kind of like on my free time go out and do the JCC and stuff.
Oh,
like that.
JCC. Do you play J-ball in the winter?
I'm going to.
Oh, it's fun.
I haven't.
Good
already.
stuff. I actually used to love watching those games.
Oh,
They're very entertaining.
people in there are intimidating, man. Some of those people are really good.
Well, that's
I'm in
true.
the same league as them.
That's true, but the beauty of it is, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're going down there to
Having a good
work hard, have fun. Yeah, it really is great. Great attitude. And it's true, there are some very good players, but I think there's also players who are what you might call journeymen, and the games are all very entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very
I'm
good.
excited to go with my friends.
Very good, very good. All right, my friend. Well, I certainly appreciate you coming on and sharing some stuff with us. Anything else you can think of that you'd like to share with the community?
Not really.
Just get yours. Everybody who knows this guy, get down here, and let's figure out if there's something here for you.
Texted my friends. I was like, come on down to the TV studio. They got free food.
They're pretending they didn't get the text.
Probably. I haven't checked yet. So not very good.
Not to worry, not to worry. Very good. Well, thanks for coming on, pal.
Thank you.
Take it easy. That was Nick, folks. A fine young man here at Longmeadow High School. Although I'm told he has a criminal record as long as your arm, but we didn't get into that. Just a little joke, little joke. Very good. So I think I see very few people left here. We still got 50 minutes of action, so don't be dissuaded. Again, I think I said before that this is the best time to come down because you can get the attention of the entire staff and you can get the guided tour in a much more personal way than you would at the height of the crowds. I'm looking at myself in a monitor. Looks like the hair's pretty good. Does it look real? Does it look real? Oh, God. All right, well, let me just take a quick drink. I'm not sure. Let me just, you can stay here, but I'm going to grab a piece of paper that someone put in front of me an hour ago to see if there's anything on it that we actually want to announce. And there is a few things. Hey, look at that. I know that guy. Yes, one of the grandparents of one of our Western Mass champion baseball players has walked in to get the tour of the facility. Maybe we'll force him to come talk baseball. But I have a piece of paper that tells me a few things that you might want to know. There will be a select board public forum on September 25th at 7 p.m. That's a Wednesday. And that will be held, well, it will be covered live by LCTV, and that will also be live on the YouTube channel. It will be about the cost of the cleaning up after the microburst, capping the landfill, and the disposal of asbestos at the DPW site. These are costly problems that have cropped up that have to be dealt with. And if you are interested in having a say in how they are dealt with, the Select Board Public Forum is the place for you. Again, that is Wednesday, September 25th at 7 p.m. I should be able to tell. Oh, I remember where she said it would be. It will be here, I'm almost certain, in the room which is normally used for the Select Board meeting, the meeting room, which is here at the high school, which is where LCTV is. There's also town manager final interviews will be Saturday, September 28th at 1 p.m., also held in the meeting room, and live on Channel 12, Channel 809 HD, as well as the Longmeadow YouTube channel. If you're interested in a LCTV production workshop, these are going to happen, as Brian told us a while back. You can learn studio and field production, and all you need to know that you would need to know to produce your own television show. And believe me, it's a lot of fun, even though right now it might not look like a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. And if you have your own show, you probably have figured out what you're going to say, so don't worry about it. This runs for 5 weeks, from September 26th to October 24th. There is a $50 per person fee due on the first night of class. But you know what, folks? You're paying for something that is worth a great deal, and I think it's definitely worth the money. But if you're not sure, as I said before, come on down and take a look at what you'll be learning, and you can sort of kick the tires before you invest the $50. And that is all I've got for announcements. YouTube, or excuse me, Facebook and Instagram. Apparently we now have an Instagram. I don't actually have Instagram, but I know that's a popular social media platform. I'm one of the old folks who uses Facebook, which I think it's hilarious that people think that Facebook is something for old people. But apparently it is, and I'm one of them. So, what do we got, people? Anything?
We're waiting for the librarian.
Oh, the librarian. The librarian. Very good. Well, I have been assured by at least one member of the Select Board that he would be arriving here in the vicinity of 7:30. I'm going to actually check to see if anyone has messaged me. No. I wouldn't go anywhere near you. Oh, that's not true. Hey!
He delivers a show every.
What's that?
He delivers his show every.
I didn't know you had a show.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? How did I not know you had a show? That's absurd. What?
Yes.
When is this on? How did I not see this?
Because we air every Sunday
At 8 a.m.
at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. and noon on Sunday.
Yep, that's correct.
So you don't want me to watch, is what you're saying?
Yep, yeah.
Oh, very good. This is the first church show.
Yep, the first church show, and we've been doing that for how many years have we been doing that?
Oh my God, we've been doing this. We've been broadcasting.
Is it a mass? What is it that you're doing on? Oh, it's the service?
We do the whole service.
Yeah.
Then we start, and when the service starts, and then we deliver it, and it's not live, it's delayed a week.
A week.
Oh, is that right?
Yep,
So you can cut out all the swearing.
that's exactly right. And we'd like to get live if we could.
Apologies, Christ.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I think. Oh my God, it's been like 5 years.
I think at least 5 years we've been doing it.
Yeah, and he delivers it every week, and we air it every week. And people, if it doesn't air,
Oh,
he gets emails.
that makes sense to me.
It's great.
They drive me crazy. They're calling saying, you weren't on. What happened?
Oh, that's funny.
Once in a while we miss a day. Well,
just
we haven't
blames
missed
me.
many.
It's usually my fault if we miss any.
That's
But
funny.
It's a very popular show, and we thank you for doing it.
Yes, that's excellent.
Very fun. No? I videotape it and then we deliver it and then it's run on the next Sunday.
You're doing all the videotaping yourself. Are you only behind the camera, or do we get to see you in front?
They wouldn't let me get it.
No, tough break.
I'm behind the camera
Tough break.
from the balcony at First Church and we have some pretty amazing programs.
Yeah, that's great.
The whole church service. So we have a following. That's neat. And LCTV has been a great supporter of this. And my microphone isn't on. That figures.
Someone muted it. You're fine.
My microphone was muted.
You could probably-
See that? That's the story of my life.
So let's just repeat the times.
Yes.
Sunday, 8 a.m. and noon.
8 and noon.
Right? The
Yep.
service at First Church is televised.
That's
and
right, and it's
You
one.
get it a
it's-
week late.
It's delayed by 1 week,
That's
but the services are wonderful, and LCTV is a fantastic supporter of what we're doing.
How long are the services?
1 hour,
1 hour.
pretty much on target. It's 1 hour
Very good.
service, and we have sermons are given, and the whole service is available. So it's fun for us to do, and sort of an outreach to the community for
Sure.
people that are shut in and can't get to church.
Absolutely.
They come and join us for our church service, and that's great.
That's fantastic. Yeah, are you involved with First Church in other activities?
Well, my wife works for First Church,
Oh, very good.
which keeps me involved.
Sure. I didn't know that.
Yep, she's there. And she's been doing that for, oh my gosh, she's been with First Church and doing programs with them for probably 25 years or so.
Really?
Yep, long time.
No idea.
Long time.
Very nice. So
And-
what's going on at First Church these days? They're very active in the community.
We are very active with what we're trying to accomplish, and we have a congregation of probably 100 and 125 on a Sunday that come in, and we're involved in a lot of social activities and giving back to the community as much as we can.
That's awesome.
So that's, on the other hand, my other interest is in baseball and Little League
Yeah.
in Longmeadow,
You
which
bet.
I know you from.
Yes.
And I've got a couple kiddos that have played through the Longmeadow
Yes, you do.
Little League teams and played with your kids.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, indeed. Your grandson Gar was on the first Western Mass champion baseball team for
He
LHS.
was. He
And
was.
not just on it; he was a very important player on it.
Yep, he was a good player. And Lucas Olson is now
That
playing.
is correct, and he's a fireball thrower.
He is. He's a good pitcher. And
He's a very small, petite fellow.
yeah, right.
That's not true. He's a man. He's a monster.
He's big, strong boy. I used to put him into bed. Now I can't put him to bed. He's too big for me. But
Absolutely.
But no, he's loving it.
We're hoping that, and he's only a sophomore.
He's
so he'll be a junior next year.
he's a junior this year.
Oh, he's a junior this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
So this spring he'll be a junior.
Junior,
So that's
yeah.
good. We got 2 more seasons with that.
Yep, and I think the Longmeadow high school team looks pretty strong. I
Good.
think
Glad to hear it.
we'd do really well. We got a lot of quality players with a lot of experience, and I think we're going to see them. They're going to make some history. I
I'm
think.
glad to hear that.
It's coming spring.
I know that a couple of the guys from last year's team are going to be playing in college, and that's really exciting. I know that
Yep.
there's some Springfield College guys. We've got a guy who plays at Winnick now, and
Yep.
so
Yep.
if you like Longmeadow baseball and you want to watch the guys you like watching, there are some at the local
Or
colleges.
get the kiddos to come out and play.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely, and they can start doing that as early as 4 or 5 in T-ball.
Right.
And
right.
that's the thing about Little League, right? It really takes the kids from 4 to 13.
Yep.
And that's a wonderful thing. There's a great deal of continuity there. You're getting continuity of instruction. You're getting continuity with regard to the teammates. There's cohorts of sorts, and it's really a great way to be acclimated to America's game.
Yeah, I think the Longmeadow League is just phenomenal. They do a great job.
They really do.
Yeah,
They really
and,
do, and it's getting better and better. I'm
yeah.
always amazed because we've sort of had we've had a long time. We've seen sort of cycles of parents, right?
Yep.
A couple at
Yep.
least.
Yep.
And it's always amazing how you can't imagine that these new parents are really willing to give all this time, and then when they're gone, you figure, oh my God, we'll never get parents like that again. And then right behind
The
them,
new legions show up.
a new bunch
Exactly
of parents
right.
who are willing to put
Yep.
out the time and
Yeah,
effort.
it's great.
It's a really amazing thing. That,
Yeah, Gar is gone now. He's gone to Middlebury, and instead of playing baseball, he's playing rugby.
Is that right? He's playing
So,
rugby. Oh,
I'm not sure baseball's a
Football
training
without a
ground
helmet?
for
What's he
right.
thinking?
Right. I'm not sure that's a good training ground for.
I don't know.
For rugby.
I know that he was playing in the summer too, because he was on one of the teams that my son was on.
Yeah, he
in the
was.
summer.
Yep.
And I hope that they
Yep.
continue to play on that team.
Yeah.
Because I really like
It's a good
watching the
team.
kids play, and I hate the idea that they're too old for that.
Yeah, it's good fun. If anyone
really
has a Saturday afternoon or some afternoon,
Yeah.
come by and watch great baseball.
It's true. It's
Yeah,
true. I
Longmeadow
love it.
baseball is up and coming. They had 75, if I remember the number, 75 kids tried out last
Yeah, that's
season
big.
for baseball.
Yeah,
That
that's
it's a
big.
lot of guys want to come play baseball.
It's growing. It's
and women.
absolutely growing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
It really is great. And as I said earlier, we don't think of this as a baseball town, but there has been a great deal of growth in the
Yeah, it's grown a
in the
lot.
interest in and participation in baseball.
Yep,
And
really
that,
has.
and that was reflected in the championship, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
all of that team was filled with little leaguers,
Yeah.
and it really shows you that these feeders, this kind of, in-town continuity
Yep.
is really helpful to produce the kind of chemistry that
Well, we were
understand.
Western Mass champs
That's right, absolutely.
last spring, so
Absolutely.
that was a big experience for
Very
for Long
exciting.
Meadow
I
baseball.
I
Yep.
must say I enjoyed that season.
You and your kiddos,
with,
yeah, it was great fun.
A great deal.
Great
A
fun.
Great deal. But of course, it's also true, folks, that you can play baseball around here yourselves. I myself, despite my non-athletic appearance,
he's too
actually
modest.
continue to play baseball. I play baseball in the Valley Wheel League, which you may have been annoyed by seeing those signs at the side of the road that say Valley Wheel League, and you wonder, what is that thing? It's an over 30 league, and it's good baseball. It's competitive, but yet they let everybody play. So if you're one of those dads whose kids don't play Little League anymore, but you still want to be around baseball, then for crying out loud, oil up the glove and call the number on those signs, because the Valley Wheel is a lot of fun.
So I didn't try out for the over 30. I tried out for the over 60, and we only had a couple players, so we
That's
didn't
too
make
bad.
it. Yeah, right.
When was that?
No, I just think if I tried out for the over 30s, I'd be in trouble.
Well, here's the
But
thing.
anyway,
There is a over 50 league.
I know there is. Yeah.
And I played in that too.
Did you?
Yeah, I played in both leagues this past summer and had a blast. I was able to, because I was in two leagues, I was able to play on Sundays and Wednesdays. And it was a beautiful thing. It was really nice to have 2 games a week. And the beauty is that, ironically, the playing with the in the over 30 league was a little bit easier, because in the over 30 league I was an old guy.
Right.
If I didn't play well, everybody.
So they were
would give me a
kind.
break.
They were
Right.
kind.
They were kind.
Yeah.
In the over 50 league, I'm the kid, right?
Right.
I'm 51 years old.
They
so they're
expect you to
expecting me
carry the team. That's right.
exactly. I'm supposed to run around like a crazy person. So
Right.
I actually haven't injured myself playing baseball in years until this year, and it was in an over 50 league game because I felt compelled to go for a ball.
So
I really had no business.
I'm a bat boy in either one of those
Yeah,
leagues.
I'm telling you.
That's
But
right.
but I figured it out now, and I just accept the ridicule and play at my regular skill level in
All right.
both leagues.
So I ended up coming over here to watch what was going on, and I ended up being on camera. It's
You're a
great.
good man. We
Love
appreciate
it.
your.
I'll tell you what, LCTV has done a wonderful job for the programs that we do at First Church, airing them. They're on target. They're ready to go every time I deliver a DVD. It runs on time. It's been a great way for us to put our message out there to the community of what's going on at First Church. And they've been great. These guys here that I see them every Sunday and see them when I deliver the DVD, and they run it. And so they've been really super. This
Are
is
any
a
of the
great
other
part.
churches' outreach efforts, do any of those efforts involve LCTV?
I think the Catholic Church has a program that runs on LCTV
Oh, I didn't know
on
that.
Sundays. I believe so. And other than that, First Church runs theirs once a week, delayed by a week.
Right.
And it's fun. It's fun for us, and it gets our message out, and it's a good opportunity to let people know what's going on at First Church.
It is. It's a very
And,
active church as well.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, very good.
So how long do we talk?
Well, frankly, we're on the air until 8 o'clock.
I can't talk for
I'm with
another-
you. I mean, I can talk, I just can't actually make sense. I mean, so if you have a standard in that regard, I have a problem.
If my wife knows I dropped by to say hello and I'm on camera, she's going to shoot me. But
Oh,
I did
come
wear
on.
a tie.
If you just tell her you were helping me out, she'll be good. She loves me.
Right. Yeah, right.
Very good, very good. Well, it looks like things are quieting down here, but I do notice that there's still plenty of refreshments, and there's still
We're getting
plenty
more
of
people to come
opportunity.
by and say hello.
Absolutely, come by and say hello. Have a drink and what do we got? We got bourbon. No, I'm just kidding. It's just a bottle of
Right.
water. I thought maybe we could draw some some
course,
folks
we
away
might,
from
we might.
the local bars or something.
I was just downtown for a meeting down there. LCTV came back for LCTV, and talking about some of the church things we're doing downtown. And so we were involved there. And I got back here, and here I was.
Very good.
Walked in, saw you
What's
going.
the church doing downtown?
Oh, we're involved with some of the efforts, social justice and that kind of thing. So I was just down there to see what was going on. And also the chamber was meeting, so we had a chance to chat there.
Very good. Did they have a speaker at the chamber?
No.
No, not tonight.
No, it's just roundtable discussions, which
Oh,
was
what
great.
was the discussion? Several.
Future Springfield, what's going on, where industry and healthcare can get involved with what's going on in Springfield. So it was an interesting meeting.
Indeed. Have you got an
So how-
opinion on the sort of health of Springfield with its casino, et cetera?
Do you know, I've been to the casino once.
Right.
I don't have an opinion. I think anything that attracts people to Springfield, I think this Long Meadow community and the Springfield community is vibrant. Things are going on that I never imagined would be going on here. I think it's a great place to live, great place to raise your kids, and there's a lot of good social programs going on, and a lot of challenges for the school systems. But it's a great place to this area is a great place to raise your
It really
kids.
is.
We've been here for 35 years.
Is
I
that right?
guess. Yeah. And
So where are you guys
so we've
originally
seen
from?
some changes. My wife and I were from Montclair, New Jersey.
Oh, I didn't
Grew
know
up
that.
there. Went to different colleges. Met up when we were in school, and ended up getting married. I went in the Navy. We got married, and I've been living here for 35
time.
years. Long time.
Very good.
It's been a great community, great experience.
Yes, I'm a Springfield kid,
Yep.
East Forest Park kid.
Yep.
So I got in a little bit of trouble when we moved to Long Meadow because, people were giving me a hard time for abandoning Springfield. But,
Right.
you got to do what the wife tells you. That's at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
But I'm very happy to be in Long Meadow, and it is a great community. And, I only live about 200 yards from the Springfield line, so I'm
Really, they're close.
You can take the
Yeah.
kid out of Springfield, just not far.
Oh, yeah, if you can straddle the border and you'd be half
That's
and
right.
half.
That's right.
Half in
Actually,
Springfield, half Long
interestingly,
Meadow.
my little guy was none of my kids until the fourth one got to play baseball at Picknelly
Ah.
because Picknelly is not one of the Little League fields, which that's kind of a shame. But turns out they have these wooden bat leagues in August, which is after the end of the
Yep.
Little League season.
Yep.
So this year we did that, and it was kind of fun to be over.
Picknelly's a great little
It's
baseball
a
field.
great
Oh,
little baseball field. Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, I feel somewhat mixed. I have mixed feelings because when I grew up, I played on that field, but it was Quinn Field.
Ah,
And I don't know who Quinn was, but I feel bad for the guy because,
he disappeared.
Picknelly comes along, says, this place doesn't look good, cleans it up, and they put his name on it.
Oh,
That
did a
guy's
great
now
job.
lost to history.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah,
Sorry
he really
for
did. And it really looks fantastic. And and they run a really tight ship over there. They have in the fall league or in the August league,
Yep.
they have a 5 o'clock and an 8 o'clock game. And of course, it's under the lights, and they move it right along. It's very good baseball, and they run whole leagues out of that building there.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
really fantastic. Good
Yep.
stuff.
It's great
Good stuff
programs.
happening
They've done a
over there.
great job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yet another opportunity for Long Meadow kids to play baseball.
All right, let's find someone else to get on here.
Come on, people.
I walked in. Come on. Someone
Gotta
else
be
come on
somebody.
here. Here we go. Here we
Guess
go.
who just walked in the door?
Here we go.
Or is trying to walk in the door, but he's outside. There he is.
Come on over here.
Hey.
I got some guests.
Oh, good.
All right, bring them in.
What we've got for you here, folks, is
Oh,
the
we got
president
football
of
players.
the Long Meadow Youth Football Association and 2 Long Meadow football superstars. Come on in here.
With honor, I
Come on
turn
in
my
here.
microphone over
Let's,
to you
pull
guys.
a chair up here and let's talk to these football players. Come on in here. Here, one of you kids hold a mic. All right. We've got 2 mean, violent kids here. And what they're going to do for this community is crack some heads. Am I right? No, of course not. Why don't you tell us what's going on, guys?
So we just came back from our practice.
Is that right? Have we had any games yet?
Yeah, we had 2 games.
Did we win?
We won 1.
Who did we lose to?
Wilbraham.
We're not going to let that happen again, right?
Yeah.
Because, if we do lose again, I think the coach's contract is. We have high standards in Long Meadow. Are you the coach, Coach?
I am the coach. I try to be.
Come on in here, have a comfy seat. He's been trying to get out of here for half an hour. Have we got a microphone for the coach? No, here, I'll share here. Let's have the coach talk. But first of all, let's get names.
Sam.
Sam Bam Cunningham?
Yep.
No, Strange. Sam Strange.
Dylan.
Dylan what?
Haber.
Dylan Haber. Dylan Haber's dad is also one of the coaches, correct?
Correct.
But he's on the way. He's on the bubble. He hasn't been performing too well, right? We're thinking,
it's a contract year.
contract issue. Yeah. Dr. Haber's a fine coach. So, what do you got to tell us, Mr. President?
So yeah, we're just happy to be here, and it's good to be with you.
Yeah. Let's sell the league.
Yeah. We're looking forward to put up your Dukes coming back to
Yeah.
the airwaves.
Yeah. And you'll have to be the guest every week because you're the only guy I can get to talk to me.
So we have just a little plug for youth football.
You bet.
So we got about 100 kids in the program. Tackle that goes 3rd through 8th.
Mm-hmm.
We also have 50 kids in our flag football program.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
outstanding. That's
Yeah.
the most we've ever had. And it's a great game. Kids love it. We have a good time with them, and
Yeah.
it's worthwhile.
Now, my memory of this years ago when I was involved was 5 nights a week.
Yeah. So in August, we start August 1st, and it's 4 nights a week, 6 to 8. And then when school starts, it's 3 nights a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then our games are Saturday mornings. And there's also some games at the high school on Sunday.
And we're telling these kids, we don't care about your homework. Just get in here and make the tackle.
It's priorities.
Your priorities. That's what,
Football season.
life is all about priorities. And that's we got to teach these kids, priorities.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Very good. So you guys just love it, don't you?
Yeah. It's like,
You love practice too?
yeah. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Except the sprints.
Oh, the sprints. Yes, the sprints. Do you make him sprint a lot, Coach?
I don't, but Coach McBride does.
Coach, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Coach McBride is still
Yes.
coaching?
We brought him out of retirement.
Oh, my God, folks. Coach McBride is a legend, a living football legend. This guy, he was coaching when I was coaching with him, 50, 60 years ago, I think it was. And let's just say that Coach McBride is old school.
Absolutely.
Can we say that he's old school?
Absolutely.
Would you agree he's old school?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a tough guy, right? He runs you hard, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but
Hold
it
the
works for
kids
him.
accountable.
He holds
Yeah.
kids accountable. Yes, absolutely. I remember when I was coaching with Coach McBride, I had a very good time because I knew that Coach McBride, we were kind of like, good cop, bad cop.
Mm-hmm.
Or in our cases, sort of knowledgeable coach comedian. And so I felt my job was to be the morale booster,
That's right.
and his was to be, something else, right? And I think we were a good combination, quite frankly.
I could see that.
Absolutely. We should have him down here
I'd love
to
to
tell
see him
us
there.
exactly how he's going to mold these two fellows
And he would.
into the next,
Yes.
NFL generation.
Yeah.
So how many years have we got before these guys are winning high school football games?
Oh, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
5 or 6, yeah.
So you mentioned that it starts at 3rd grade, goes through 8.
Yeah.
So Pee Wee is 3rd and 4th.
So Pee Wee's 3rd and 4th. These guys are juniors. So juniors are 5th and 6th grade. And then the seniors are 7th and 8th grade.
So they're seniors, and then they're in high school.
Then they go to freshmen, and then there's a JV team and a high school team.
Let's talk a little bit about the continuity of game plan. Are we using the high school playbook anymore?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
How about Coach Lip? Is he still around?
No, I don't.
Oh,
yeah.
Coach Lip, if you're watching, unacceptable. Get back on the job. He was good. He was very good. But I recall that we really were making sure that these kids were learning the high school playbook
Yeah.
starting in 3rd grade.
Absolutely.
And that's still the case.
Yeah, so every week for us, we try to put in another play.
Yeah, yeah.
And that adds on to itself through 8th grade, and then once they hit the freshman year, they should know most of the playbook.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really helpful for the high school kids.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge. If you've always wondered why we have such a good football team, you just got the answer. That is what the communities who play football at the highest levels in high school, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They start them young, and they're using the same playbook, which is a really good idea.
It's a great idea.
Particularly for football. Football is the
Yeah.
kind of game where there's a lot of instruction, and there's a lot of you really have to understand the plan. It's not something like like baseball or things you can sort of play.
Yeah.
And you really kind of have to be a part of a plan. You have to know the plan.
I think that's something that people don't realize about football. It's an orchestration of 11 people
Yeah.
at the field at the same time. Everybody has to know what they're doing, and there's a bunch of different plays. It's a really difficult task,
It really
particularly
is.
for the kids this age.
If we didn't start them on the playbook in 3rd grade, the quality of our high school team would look a lot different.
Yes, it would.
A lot of people, like you say, they don't really they realize football players,
Yeah.
dumb jobs.
Oh, no, not at all.
I have a good time teaching college kids who claim they don't understand the material, and I say, "What are you talking about? Are you on the football team? I've got all kinds of athletes." Yeah. So let me get this straight. You're an offensive lineman on a college football team, and you don't think you understand how a bill becomes the law? You're wrong. You do understand because you have to do something way more complicated.
Oh, my gosh.
And the reality is, of course, they're just not paying attention to one thing, but they're totally into football.
Yeah.
And hopefully they've been thinking about it for years. And guess what? It takes a lot of critical thinking, a lot of
Yep.
analysis
Yep.
to be a good football player. You
Yep.
guys ready to be good, smart football players?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. What positions you guys play?
I play running back. I'm middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker and running back. So that means you're both under 80 pounds, doesn't it?
115, so it's 115.
Oh, it's up
in
to
juniors.
115
So
in
80s is Pee-wees, yeah, and then 115 at junior.
I have a very distinct memory of trying to get my son down under 80 because he didn't want to be on the line. And we made it by the hair on our teeth. We bought a pair of sneakers that were like nothing, right? There, but you had to be wearing sneakers in the weigh-in.
That's right.
So
right.
we bought these ridiculous, weird sneakers for a lot of money. He weighed in. We returned them. And he got it. 80. He made it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think
Because
Dylan did that last year, right?
Is that right?
You're on a running program. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Did the work.
Yeah, did the work. Did the work. Very good. Yeah. Well, as it turns out, we not only have the president of the Youth Football Association, we also have the newest member of the select board. Selectman Strange, if you could put on your selectman hat now. Mr. Selectman,
Thank you.
So let me just ask you, what is the select board going to do to control juvenile delinquents like these two?
Lock them up.
Lock them up. Lock them up, throw away the
Lock
key.
them right up. That's right. Makes our life a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on the select board?
Oh, so we're
Fair warning, we already had Maria Angelides, and she badmouthed you something awful.
So we're managing the DPW project.
Aha.
We're putting together our warrant articles for the fall town meeting. We have our town manager interviews coming up at the end of the month. So they went through a preliminary process. There were 8 candidates,
Right.
and they're winnowing those down to 4. So we'll get 4 candidates to interview Saturday the 28th, and then the final 2 on Monday the 30th, and then we'll have a new town manager.
Okay, and that's the biggest thing happening at this point, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, we're also buying back our streetlights.
Explain what you just said. We're buying back our streetlights. What are you talking? They were stolen and now we're ransoming? What are you talking?
So so Eversource owns the streetlights in town, the Cobra heads that you see and some of the decorative ones, and so we pay them a fee every month to use those lights, a significant fee. So the town is working with Metropolitan Area Planning Commission, and Tanko Lighting is helping us as our consultant, and we're buying those assets. So it's going to save us money not only in not having to pay those user fees, but also we're going to be retrofitting them in LED bulbs. So the LED bulbs that have a longer lifespan, and they're also use less energy. So we're going to be saving money twofold.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a
Very
good project.
So we won't have to change them, every 10 years?
Oh, yeah, no, they got 20, 30
Really?
years. Yeah.
I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I keep buying these darn things, and they're supposed to last forever, and 2 years later I'm changing the bulb.
Yeah.
I'm a disgruntled purchaser. What else have you got to say for yourself? Obviously, you're an up-and-comer right now on the select board, but I'm sure big things are happening.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm starstruck being with you.
Listen,
you're a TV veteran.
It's understandable. It's understandable.
Yeah.
I get that.
I'm trying to absorb your vibe here.
So tell me a little bit more about your political ambition.
Well, being on the
I know that your wife loves politics. Isn't that true?
Yes, it's one of her favorite
She
things.
wants you to run for all kinds of offices, right?
She's 24 hours on C-SPAN. Yeah, I mean, I've the campaign was great, and I've loved being on the select board.
Yep.
And if there other opportunities present themselves, I'll certainly explore those.
Very good,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I was a very strong supporter of Mr. Strange because I wanted to be able to walk around town and say, Strange signs are popping up all over people's lawns. That one thing got me to really want this guy to be elected.
That's right. That's right.
And I also want to point out that these guys are also really good Little League baseball players.
That's right.
And that is something we've already been talking about here. Are you guys playing any fall ball?
Yeah. I didn't this year, but I might next year.
Well, that's outrageous, Sam. I can't believe you've abandoned your friends in baseball. But you're playing. Who's your coach? Is it Mr. Pearson?
Chris Hayes?
No, very good. Have you had any games yet? Yeah. Did you win? Well, that's all right. That's all right.
And now is Francis playing?
Francis is also playing, and they have actually they've had 2 games and they've won them both.
Good.
But they also smashed my windshield.
I saw that.
Yeah, I was parked at the Mini Fenway in Belchertown.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, I'm parked in a place where no one in their right mind parks. But here's the thing: I've been parking in that exact same spot for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have never been hit, and so I guess eventually I was due. So really incredible smash right in the center, and it was a foul ball like this too, and it looked like it was a line drive. There was a deep hole. It was
Really?
impressive, quite frankly.
It was.
Alex Saracen hit that.
Oh, he
and
did, okay.
so after the game was over, we got him in a bat to stand in front of it with the team and took a picture.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we had big hits and big runs and won the game and, ruined my windshield. But that's life.
You made his dad pay for it, right?
Of course. Actually, I yelled at him, not to worry, kid, free glass. I'm still going to take it out on you later. So what else have you got to say, my friend?
I don't know. I just happy to stop by and say hi, and I wanted to get these guys on camera. They're very excited to come over and be on TV for the first time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're not just a selectman and football guy, but you're also a basketball guy.
Yep.
And the baseball guy.
Yep.
You're actually involved in all these organizations.
I'm very busy. Very busy. Yeah.
So clearly, your wife just doesn't want you around. I mean, I think that's what
she's encouraging me
let's
to
be honest.
get involved
I mean,
in more
come
things.
on.
Yeah.
Let's get it right out there. Right? I think that's the best thing to do.
Is it that obvious?
Yeah, come on. My wife keeps telling me I've got these gigs, and I come and the place is locked up and everything. I don't really understand.
Your wife is lovely.
She is
yeah,
lovely.
She's lovely.
God bless her. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
I'm very
Thank you for
pleased to
having
have
us.
had you, and since you actually kept your word, I won't be bad-mouthing you after you leave.
Very good.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you very
Very
much.
good. Very good.
Thanks, guys. Good luck in your seasons, baseball and football. All right. Very good. Well, people, it's getting down to the...
We got one more person.
Oh, excellent. Very good. Come on out here and give me 18 minutes, kid. Come on. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yes. What have you got to... You could pick that mic up.
Okay, all right. Hi.
What have you got to tell us?
I have to tell you about the library and
Oh,
how wonderful
good.
it is.
Thank God.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell us about the library.
Let's see. I've been working at the library 5 years. My name is Gina, and I just wanted to tell you that we have wonderful programs from birth on.
Oh, excellent.
basically. Yeah.
Well, I know that
Yeah.
my fifth grader sprints from center school to the library at the conclusion of every school day.
I do. I work in the children's department, and I
Yes.
see him
Yes.
sprint and come in.
And I must say, I am extremely grateful that you allow him to hang around for an hour or so.
Yes.
Despite the fact that he, forgets everything, and you constantly have to call and say, Francis forgot this and Francis forgot that. Very patient.
Yes. Well, we try to be with everybody.
Yes,
My son's
yes.
in fifth grade as well.
Oh, very good.
Yes,
Yeah,
so-
they. It's really quite a thing. They race down there to get on a computer, as I understand.
Yes. And now we even have new programs that tell them which computer they have to go on and how long they can be on the computer.
Very good.
So yeah, no,
That's
but we
excellent.
have. Let's see. We have knitting. We have Great Decisions, which is a book group.
Yep.
We have a cookbook club that is
Oh, I
during the
didn't know that.
day. We have a nighttime cookbook club for those people who are working during the day. We have a house tour coming up
Really?
of Long Meadow.
I always want to go on
October-
those, and I never make it.
Can you make it this year?
I don't know. When is it?
It's October 5th, which is a Saturday. What do you do on Saturday?
What do I do on Saturday? I go to fall baseball and soccer.
Well, you're
But
gonna
I might have to
you're gonna
sneak it
have
in.
to skip that.
Where are we?
because
Whose house this year?
My friend Heather's house. I don't know if you can really say.
Heather
My
Henry?
friend Heather Henry.
Oh, I
You
want
know
to. I
Heather
want to see that
Henry?
house.
Yes, it's a great house. It's a
Yeah, they
wonderful
have kids who
house.
play sports with my kids.
Yes, so it's a wonderful house. A lot of the houses on Long Meadow Street
Right.
are being opened up.
Oh, that's
and
great.
The mansion is one of the houses.
Now,
too.
will we have an opportunity to sort of go through their drawers and find valuables?
Well, you know.
So that's out. I shouldn't even,
I think that's-
consider that.
I don't think you should open
That's
up
beyond the
any
pale.
medicine
All right,
cabinets or
all right.
anything
I'm
like
gonna-
that. I think
I'm
you
gonna-
should hold
I'm gonna
back
try to keep
and
my-
don't do that.
all right,
But
all
other
right.
than that, I think you can get to see some of these houses that you always wonder about what it looks like inside
sure.
and how it's been done and
And
you
so,
know.
does the owner give you the tour?
No, actually, it's run by the Friends of Stores Library.
Right.
And so we actually have people who, not that the owners wouldn't know, but a
Right.
lot of people who know about the history
Ah,
of these houses.
very good.
Some are older houses,
Sure.
some are more modern houses. There's some mid-century houses that are on the list. But these are people who are going to know all about the different like for instance, Heather's house was once a tavern.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so the top floor was a tavern.
Cool.
And that's why there's a back staircase.
How old is Heather's house?
1710, 1730.
Oh, so it's one of the newer houses.
Yes, exactly, for Longmeadow. It's a brand new house. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really great. So,
Very
no,
well.
we appreciate everybody who comes to the library. We appreciate your son and everybody
Yes,
else.
yes.
And
I'm thankful that
so-
you appreciate him.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. It's a lot of fun, and we have a lot of programs for everybody. So, you know.
What's
something-
coming up at the library? Anything that you want to plug?
Anything that I want to plug? Well, we have early literacy programs for kids.
Mm-hmm.
So young kids come in and all the way up till 6th grade literacy programs, book clubs, but reading clubs for kids to come in. They do crafts, they read a story.
Mm-hmm.
We help them with their reading skills. So yeah, it's great.
Excellent.
It's fun.
Very good.
I
I'm
mean,
glad to hear.
I get to do a lot of fun things.
Is there
Today,
any remodeling or anything happening over at the library? Are there any sort of projects?
Funny you should ask about that.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Well, we did this whole beautiful thing where we painted the first floor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the first time that the old side of the library had been painted in a good 20 years.
Cool.
So we painted all the beautiful woodwork. We got some chairs recovered. I think it looks great.
That's great.
It looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's a great library.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Yeah,
I
we're lucky
sometimes
to
go
have
over
it.
just to work over there when I'm working at home because it's a really nice atmosphere.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
it's really nice. So
Very
we
good.
appreciate it. We have
Yeah.
a lot of things coming up. So.
Very good. Would you say that the library is utilized, to its capacity, or are we here to say, hey, folks, we got this great thing, you should be using it more?
I feel like there's a lot of people who do come to the library, and we have very crowded times. I feel like kids, and I feel like the older population. But you won't be surprised when I tell you sometimes teenagers are not always at the library, but they
No.
are. They
Quit kidding around.
They are,
My
but
kids
they
are
are-
always claiming to be at the library.
But they are when we have LHS late nights.
Right.
And that's when it's packed with teenagers.
Right,
But
right.
that's when we also give them free pizza.
Yeah.
So maybe if we gave them more free pizza,
They might show up more.
we might get them.
But is there actually any studying happening?
I've worked some of them. and
Yeah?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's good to hear.
Occasionally.
I'm glad to hear that.
Occasionally,
Yeah. Very good.
So
Very
it's
good.
nice.
Well, I very much appreciate you coming out and giving us the info on the library.
All right. Thank you. Thank
You're
you for
very
having
welcome.
me.
You're very welcome. Thanks again.
Okay.
Well, we are only 12 minutes from. You have a cheering fan over here. She should have had to come on camera and do that.
Wouldn't that have been great? That's my boss.
Oh my God! Oh, for crap! How do you get away with not coming out here? I even see an official tag or something there.
She's gonna run.
That's outrageous. Very good. She's a delegator, that one. Yeah, she's a delegator. Very good. Well, listen, there's only 10 minutes left to come on down here. There's still sandwiches. There's still bottled water. And I'm still here, if that's of any interest to you. But we're only going to be here another 10 minutes, and I may have exhausted every conceivable topic. And unfortunately, it appears that we're kind of winding down in terms of the folks coming in to take the tour. But let me just ask some of the folks who have been giving the tour, what are the specific things on the tour? I see you looking at these cameras and explaining cameras, but what are you telling them in the control room? You want to come on and chat? Yeah, let's go. All right, come on in here and pick that microphone up. What's your name, son?
Jared.
Jared what?
Eastern.
What do you got to say for yourself, Jared?
I really don't know.
You don't know? Are you a high school student here?
Yeah, I am.
What grade you in?
Senior.
You're a senior?
I am.
I can't tell how old kids anymore. I'm thinking these guys got to be what, sophomores? Come on.
Yep.
The problem is that for some reason, I always get the biggest kick when you go to a concert or something, a high school concert, and the boys' choir and the girls' choir, and the girls are all well dressed and they look mature, and the guys all look like they're 10. What's the deal with that? It's just the way it happens at that age. Their hair's goofy, and what's the deal? What do you have to say about that?
I guess times change.
Times change?
I don't know.
Yeah, all right. I'm just
Some good
wondering. I'm
points
just
right
curious.
there.
I mean, we know girls mature faster than boys, but it's really obvious when you go to these concerts. So I had no idea you guys were seniors, but you're seniors. Okay, great. So you're running the show.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely. So you're walking through the halls and picking on people.
Not necessarily.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. That was a trap, and you didn't fall into it. I'm very glad. Good work. So we're against all that.
Yeah.
So tell me, what do you do at the high school? What is your thing?
I just chill.
You're one of the chill guys.
Well, I mean, I just do my work.
I
and,
see.
come
Very good. Do
to
your work.
sports.
Keep your head down. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Very good. You're very welcome, even though you didn't come on camera. So we're here at LCTV. Have you ever been in here before?
I've never been in this room, but I'm aware of LCTV.
All right. So any interested in learning about how this all works?
Yeah, kind of. I'm
Yeah.
interested in like cameras and stuff like that.
Interested in camera? So did you already take the little tour?
I looked in that room for like.
All right. So when you were in that room, here's what I want to. What are they telling you? What are they saying in there? They're talking about me, aren't they?
Nobody was in the room when I was in there.
So what are we telling these people when they go in the control room, Tracy? Here she comes.
So we're just teaching. We're showing them the equipment we have. That we have a video switcher and
Right.
an audio.
Are they
mixer,
switching?
and, they can. They are welcome to.
I see.
Yes.
Are they fading me in, fading me out?
Not yet, but
Not
they
yet.
might.
They're tuning me out, but they're not fading me into.
They're just pulling the audio down a little bit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably what they're doing mostly. I get
But
that.
yeah, we're just showing them all the equipment that's available for the
Yeah.
community to use.
So you got a young fellow like this, and he's interested. How do we hook him?
Yeah, so we set up a time. What are you interested in learning? And then we set up and we can show you the field cameras we have that you can take out
Right.
and produce a show.
If they take
or-
a field camera,
Yes.
what do they do?
So
They're like signing out a camera.
Yes. So they can take it out to make a program for our air. And it can be sports. It can be
Right.
a scripted show.
Do you get
can come
students
in and
doing
edit it.
assignments like that?
We have off and on. We have some that'll do like sports with us.
Right.
When we do a high school class, we've done that, and they will have projects that we'll send them out and do.
Right.
So mostly that. But
Very good. Have you ever taken that? You going to take that class?
it didn't run this year.
Oh,
But
outrageous.
we do take high school interns. So
Aha!
or if you
There it
need
is.
like volunteer hours, we do that as well.
And they pay you in sandwiches.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm, Yep.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Very good. Well, I hope that you're actually going to, take some interest, maybe volunteer. That would be a good
We're
thing.
very friendly. People can contact us
Very
anytime.
friendly.
It doesn't have to be on any schedule. We can work individual one-on-one training. So
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It's a lot of fun, folks.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on and chatting with me, Jared.
You're very brave.
Yes, you are. Take it easy, pal.
Thank you.
All right. We're inside 10 minutes. It's the final stretch.
Before we totally sign off, though, I have to say thank you to Gerald
Oh,
for coming
you're-
down
you're very
and being willing to host this.
My
We kind of
pleasure.
corralled him, and we had no idea how it would go, and he was up for it.
And it didn't
so-
go very well, frankly.
It went
No, I'm
fantastic.
kidding. I'm
You
kidding.
did great. So we
Thank you
really,
very
really
much.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
very
We
much.
Kind of just
Happy
threw
to
him
be
in
here.
and said, like, here's 2 hours.
That's
We'll see who
we
comes back,
we
so.
we had a good time, and
Yes. Well, we appreciate it. Thank
now
you.
that with the last few minutes, I think I should go through the list of people who didn't come to talk to me and badmouth them.
Yes,
I mean,
I think
I pretty
yes,
much
you should call them out individually.
yeah, I
one
think
by
we should
one.
call these people out
Why they didn't
individually
shout out.
and shame them.
Yes.
And shame them. Well, we can't do that. You know why? Because LCTV is a friendly place.
Yes, we are.
And that's what we would do if this wasn't a friendly and fun place. So just so you know, we're not doing that because of how friendly and fun this place is. So don't be intimidated. Come on down. At this point, you probably can't come down for this event, but you actually can come down during regular working hours. That's the thing. You can come down here 9 to 5, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 1 on Friday, if I'm remembering correctly, and you can just walk in and ask questions and take a look around. And frankly, I hope that you do that. Let me see. I've already announced everything on that paper. We've gone through early on in the affair. We talked about the services provided. I wonder if it makes sense to recap any of that. I don't know. One thing I will do is make sure that everybody knows who the 3 people are, the 4 people with Steve over here that really run the show. You know, obviously, Tracy Durant is the big boss here, the head honcho. When she's not around, the guys are saying, oh, she's brutal, she's brutal. But when she is around, they love her. And then that's really what's important, right? They're obedient. That's the important thing. But they're doing a heck of a good job here, too. We've got Tracy and Brian, Tracy, Brian, and Doug, and they do everything from soup to nuts. They are in charge, but they're also running the cameras and making sure everything's set up. I believe you made all that food, right, from scratch, right? So they do it all. They do it all, and they run a great outfit here. But you know what? They can always use help, and they want help from people other than me, apparently. So come on down during the week and see if there's something that you can volunteer to do. All of the events that we announced, I've already announced a couple times. So I actually think that we're close to the end here. And I think that before we sign off, it's probably a good idea to force Doug out from behind the camera and have him sit down and share his perspective. Are you sure? Well, then I'll just keep talking about him and make it worse than if he actually came and sat here. All right. Thank you. Very good. Very good.
So Gerald,
Yeah.
you're making me totally regret it was my idea to bring you here today. So.
I'm just going to ask you a few softball questions, right? Yeah. So, Doug, do you still beat your wife? Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Just kidding.
I have no wife.
Well, if you weren't beating her, she might have stuck around. That's all I have to say about that. But let's just talk about how you have been at this institution for a long time. 14 years?
Yeah, it's actually 15 years.
15 years.
That's right.
The beauty of that is everybody's extremely comfortable with what they do and extremely expert at what they do. When you've been doing something for 15 years,
That's very true.
you're going to be good at it.
And believe me, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have said, hey, I'm still going to be here 15 years from
Right,
now.
right.
I thought I was going to be here for a couple years, pick up some skills.
Yeah.
And, move on. But, it's been a great deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been fun.
Yeah.
LCTV's been very good to me.
And the skills have had to change. It's not like you learn skills and then you're just hanging out.
Well, 15 years ago, I was queuing tapes.
Right,
you
right.
had to back queue 'em,
Right.
and you had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
accommodate for this
Amazing.
thing coming up to speed
Right.
and taking
That's
it on
right.
the air. And now
Yeah.
we have servers. We're pretty professional. We
Yeah.
can actually fill the whole day with programming, whereas before we actually had a limited amount of tapes.
Right.
Tape decks. You actually had to have a tape
That's
deck,
funny.
or you had different shows on
Sure,
the very
sure.
same tapes.
Yeah, yeah.
Run through one show.
Right, right.
Start the next.
Sure.
But you'd have to have that timed, and it might be a couple seconds off. Now everything's
Computer
Perfect.
network. Very good, very
Exactly.
good. So, do you have a sense of what the next technological change will be that will change how you operate?
I wish I knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be a millionaire.
But there's nothing sort of like on the horizon that people are saying, you know what, there's this new way of doing something that's coming along. I mean, because obviously you've been here 15 years and you've had to keep up with the changes.
Well, obviously you said it before. I mean, it's all in your phone. I mean, it's
Right.
amazing
Yeah.
the quality
Yeah.
that you can actually get
Right.
just from this little device.
Yeah.
Whereas 15 years ago,
Yeah, yeah.
it was
Ridiculous.
flip phones if you had a flip phone.
That's right, yeah. No, absolutely.
so-
Absolutely ridiculous, yeah. So, Doug, 15 years. Tell me, if you have one, a favorite story from your work at LCTV.
Oh man, that's unreal.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm probably involved, right? So,
Yeah, we used to have this show put up here doing.
no, really, well, you know what? While you were here for 15 years, for that entire time, was Dave Bartlett here with you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I was just going to mention
Yeah,
that. I mean,
yeah.
the people that I worked with Dave, obviously, and
Right.
even before Dave.
Right.
Gil Lefkovich.
Gil Lefkovich, right,
I
right.
mean, just going back.
Yeah,
Al
yeah.
Williams was here.
Yeah.
Over in Northampton.
Right,
and
right.
Of course, Tracy and Brian.
Just great
know,
people to learn from.
I mean, I'm not even the longest one here. Tracy has been here.
That's amazing,
17.
right?
Brian's been here 12.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, obviously, this is a good place to work because you wouldn't be here if it weren't.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
You can't have people this dedicated for this long if something's not being done well here.
That's
Right?
absolutely right.
There's no way around that.
And
No
we
need
get
for
to-
modesty. It's obvious. It's sort of obvious, right?
And we get to meet great people and
And
some very
kooky
good
people,
skills.
yeah, that's right.
So-
But the point is that this is a great place to come and learn about this stuff because you're not going to have to worry about dealing with people who aren't sure of what they're doing. You're dealing with consummate professionals. They probably wish they didn't know as much as they do know at this point. They're so used to it, they're so comfortable. So come on down and you'll be just as comfortable a lot quicker than you think.
Well, that's the other fun part of the job. There's always something to learn. You're never going to be proficient in everything. And there's occasions where you haven't done something for a while and
Right.
you actually have to go back and
Yeah,
it's like,
sure.
how did I do that the last time?
Absolutely. And this is a forgiving place. So don't worry about that either. I think a lot of people might have a hang up. I can't go and do that. I'll screw something up and it'll be on TV. Well, yes, that might be true. And as someone who's done things on TV that are embarrassing, maybe that will be temporarily, embarrassing, but you'll get over it and you'll learn. And that's the thing. That's what this is about. The mission statement of this organization has to do with education, right? Mm-hmm. This is really, there's an education and a communications function, right? This is an entity that exists to improve the communication within the community and in a way that is educational, right? There's a specific education mission, that's why you have these workshops, but You don't have to think you need an education. You could just be someone who wants to understand your community better. You could be someone who wants to help other people understand the community better. This is the hub of it. This is where you get a chance to be involved in communicating to your neighbors in a way that you can't otherwise. Really, you can't otherwise. And I must say that people know what's going on LCTV. They may not sit there and through every meeting and watch these meetings from stem to stern, but you check in on LCTV. And now with the YouTube channel, it's even easier to do that, right? It's sort of the asynchronous, the asynchronous TV watching that our kids all do all the time. We always used to say, it's 8 o'clock, I gotta go watch Happy Days. And these kids don't do that. They watch it on their phone whenever they want.
Well, I think Armin was even on a plane. And he
Armin Ray.
actually- Armin Ray.
Yeah.
And tuned into LCTV. And
So you're outing Armin for not turning his phone on to airplane mode. That is outrageous. We have just created a scandal here in Long Meadow. An elected official was on an airplane.
I'm not sure if he was actually on the plane.
Armin, we love you. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. We're all done here tonight. I hope you come down and see these folks. Thank you for coming on camera. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Steve. And good night.
Thank you.